introduce myself. I'm a man of wealth and taste. I'm a king of rock, there is none higher. Sucker MCs should call me sire. To rock my kingdom, you must choose fire. I won't stop rocking till I retire. Then we rock the party and go correct. All central on time and rock connect. Got the right to vote and to elect. Another rapper can't stand it, but give us respect. I wanna rock. Over now, and it came to pass. The rock and roll was born. Love across the land, every rock and band going up the storm. And the guitar man got famous, and the business man got rich. Everybody was a superstar with a spirit. You know what I want. I love rock and roll.
and gentlemen, and welcome to Ultimate Dirt TV for the third and final race of the week here for the Bluegrass Iracing Series. It is the Cup Cars here at Charlotte for 200 laps in racing action. My name is Alex Robinson. I am joined by BJ Duvall, and it is 200 laps as stated. Lap 80 is the stage break for tonight. GT Hawkins comes in as your points leader. Brandon Holder in that second spot, and John Schwartz in the third spot. That is your top three in points coming into tonight before next week's road course action at Watkins Glen. So Charlotte last night came down to a great race for the Xfinity cars. Expect to see the same here for the Cup cars. And BJ Duvall qualifying is already underway. And I expect a lot of fun here, especially for 200 laps.
Oh, absolutely. If I can get us a camera, we can actually see some drivers out on track here. Charlotte, it's one of my personal opinion, the best tracks on the circuit. It's one of the most fun to drive. It's easy, you'll be able to flat-foot it almost for, first 5 or 6 laps on your fresh tires, and then as you get some heat in your tires, they'll start gripping up and wanting to start really carrying a lot more speed and a lot more momentum. You have to start letting up a little bit, but right now out on track here for qualifying, we have the 3 of Brandon Robertson out of Epping, New Hampshire.
So right now, quick time, Jonathan Schwartz, 30.32. There you see Brandon Robertson. He's going to go 14th quick with a 30.86. Frankie Barroso, he goes 11th quick, 30.57. So time's coming in here. But right now it's Schwartz, Grenier, and Roger Pierce is your top 3 here. Those times are as follows as a 30.32, 30.38. And then a 30.39 is your top 3 times here. As there you see from Athens, Pennsylvania, it's Bobby Hall Jr. in the 94. Bobby Hall Jr., the 94 machine, looking to resurrect as not the kind of run he has wanted over the past 3 days. So Bobby Hall Jr. looks to resurrect after IRP on Monday night here in the Cup cars. And Bobby Hall Jr. goes down pit road, and I don't know. He did not put a time in.
No, he is not typically a Cup driver. I believe he only has a charter for the Truck Series, so he will not actually be allowed to put a time in. He's gonna go out, check the track out, check the car out, and continue to bring it back down pit road. Brandon Robertson, though, finished his times, went 14th quick on his qualifying run. 18 cars have put a time in here tonight. $31 total drivers have signed up for tonight. Drivers yet to get a time in: Twitty, Hall, Prohl, Hackney, Lockwood, Hawkins, Center, Boyd, Farmer, Morton, Robinson, Bridges, and Neal. The drivers have yet to put a time in. With 44 seconds left here in qualifying, I don't foresee anybody coming out and making a run at qualifying. So the 18 drivers that have got a time in are the drivers that will be making their qualifying runs. Everybody else will be starting from the rear of the field.
BJ, you said, oh, Michael Robinson's here. I was so confused. I'm like, Robinson, I'm not racing. Can't do that.
Jeez.
It confuses me, BJ. You know how I get.
What about when you get a Robinson and a Robertson battle?
Yes. You know what's scary?
Alex Robinson in a car?
Well, yes. And also, is it bad that my father's name is Michael Robinson, and it's really scary when I saw that the first time? I was like, that is not my I know that's not my father, even though he's from the West Coast, and my father lives on the West Coast now with the rest of my family. So, yeah. Who knows? Maybe he changed how he spelled his first name. But who knows? But Jonathan Schwartz, he set quick time. Matt Grenier, Roger Pierce, Tony Iverson, James Silvers. That's your top 5. And here we go. 200 laps is the distance. Here is your starting grid. And all on the front row, it's going to be the 95 for Team Hyper. Or Hyprix. It's Jonathan Schwartz. To the outside, the 15 for YNH Motorsports. It's Matt Grenier.
Run to the inside from WJM. It's the 27 of Roger Pierce lined up to his outside from High Side Hustlers. It's the 72 of Tony Iverson.
Starting in the 5th spot, the 17 for Cornerstone Motorsports, that's James Silvers. Starting 6th, it's the Syndicate's 9, that's Brandon Holder.
Row number 4 to the inside, the Awesome Shop, number 96, Mike Peters. To his outside, it's from Kinder Performance. It's the 5 of John Kinder.
Starting in the 9th spot, the 46 for Team Watt, as Steve McMillan would call it. That's Sean Kostritza. Starting in the 10th spot, the 57 for Shockeye Racing Performance, it's Jonathan Atkins.
Also from Team Woto. But row number 6 to the inside from Powerhouse Motorsports. It's the 12, Frankie Barroso, lined up to his outside. From Turn 1 Racing, it's the 18 of Dustin Reinstedel.
In the 13th spot, and in row number 7 on the inside.
Oh, I gotta scroll that. I was admiring the pink car in the background.
There it is. It's Nick Mills for Redline Motorsports. On the outside, starting 14th for YNH Motorsports, a 3 of Brandon Robertson.
Run right to the inside. It's the 49 of Chuck Blake, lined up to his outside from Flex and YNH Motorsports. It's the 97 of Alex Healy.
Starting in the 17th spot, the 13, that's Brian Terry. Starting 18th, Area 51, the 51, that is Mike Howerton.
Run number 10 to the inside is going to be the 19 of Rocky Boyd III. In 19th is the 16 of Rocky Boyd III. Dyslexia showing right there. In to his outside in the 20th spot, it's going to be from Team Syndicate. It's the 8 of Mikey Neal Jr.
GT Hawkins in that 14 for Cornerstone Motorsports. He's going to start 21st, starting 22nd, the 84 of David Farmer.
Row number 12 to the inside, high side Hustlers. Number 34 is Jason Bridges, lined up to his outside. His teammate in the 29, Travis Twitty.
Starting in the 25th spot.
Yep. I actually was about to close it.
There we go. Starting 25th, it's going to be Cornerstone Motorsports, Keith Hackney. 26th, Drew Prow. 27th, Bobby Hall Jr. Mike Robinson, or Michael Robinson, sorry. He's going to start 28th. Then it's 29th is Barrett Morton, Joshua Lockwood 30th, and RS Centers. That will be your 31st and final starter for tonight's 200-lap race here at Charlotte Motor Speedway in Charlotte, North Carolina. America's home for racing. Pretty much one of the biggest epicenters of racing is Charlotte, North Carolina. And pace car should be... Is it heading off?
Pace car is not heading off.
Lights are still on here, so...
But, you know, tonight showing my lack of expertise in producing and announcing at the same time. I told you, Alex, I couldn't do both. That's why I said you were on point, and I was second.
BJ, Fast Twitch has got me all jacked up tonight, so this should be an entertaining broadcast.
Trying to take a look at the drivers back towards the back, because they're showing on mine that they did not take the grid. It looks like the only drivers to not take the grid would be RS Center. RS Center, the only driver not taking the grid here at the start of this race. Unfortunately, my timing and scoring is not allowing me to see past 25th position, so I'm going to go ahead and apologize for that now. I actually can't even see 25th position. Now we switch, and there he is. Yeah, so anything that happens tonight outside of the top 24, unfortunately, I will not be able to get replays or check that out. So for that, I do apologize. My computer's not happy with me at the moment, I don't think.
But here we go. Lights are off. So, if you're like BJ Duvall or anyone else in the Charlotte area, grab yourself a Coke. If you're me, grab yourself a Fast Twitch made by Gatorade now, or W, because BJ Duvall love our W. But here we go. Pace car is off. BJ Duvall, we get this race started. We're going to go by my favorite zone. That is the Geico restart zone. There it is. And here we go. Green flag is out. 200 laps here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. And it is Grenier. It is Schwartz leading us into turn 1 and 2. Here we go. It's going to go 2x2 double file into turn 1 and 2. Going to be interesting to see if we single file out here. We will not throughout the field there. Everyone going 2x2 down in the back chute now, heading into turn number 1 and 2. Grenier and Schwartz. They are interestingly 2x2 for the top 4 spots. Everyone else has now single filed it out a little bit more here. So battles not so much beginning yet here as guys getting a groove, going to find where it is. And BG Duval, we talk about it all week so far. Tire saving at this racetrack, you got to do it a little bit.
You definitely have to. The track's, it's a newer surface, so it's not known for wearing the tires down as quickly as many other tracks out there. But it's not new at the same time. You see all the black lines through it. A lot of those are fillers for the asphalt, filling it in. So there are rough spots in the track, quite a lot, especially down the front straightaway. So it's kind of a toss-up. It's not as rough as, say, North Wilkesboro or Texas Motor Speedway, but it's not as easy on the tires as such as a track like Atlanta Motor Speedway. So it's kind of in between. Drivers still got to keep in mind, they still got to pay attention to it, still got to take it easy as we have a battle going for second now. Roger Pierce is going to look to the inside of Matt Grenier. He's going to take over that spot there through turns 3 and 4. Now down the front straightaway, he's going to take a look at the 95 of Jonathan Swartz now to his inside as they head down into turn number 1.
And the big thing is there's the 14 machine. So I don't know, some early problems, or is that
GT Hawkins?
Some problems for GT Hawkins there, but back to action up front. Here's that battle for the race lead continues. It's Pierce, it's Schwartz, it's Grenier. That is your top 3 right now. Battles for that race lead, and do not push the tires too hard here again. There will be some pit stops in between stage break here, especially if, what we say last night, it was about 30 laps for a pit window. I think we're about to see the same thing here tonight for these cars as well. So it's going to be fun to watch here when these guys go for pits. If green flag pit stops happen, pit strategy is going to have to play a key for some of these guys. And BG, well, I'm really pumped for a few weeks. I really hope I'm back for Daytona because pit strategy is always key at Daytona with drafting. Here, not so much, but you see the 3rd and 4th place driver of Grenier and Iverson, they're drafting right now, trying to catch some speed up to those top 2 battling it out side by side. And then you look back further in Silvers, Atkins, Peters, they're drafting as well a little bit here. So they're trying to catch up to this lead pack there with those top 4.
And, talking about these guys battling side by side for the race lead, it seems like the entire 6 laps of this race so far, there's been a battle going on for the race lead. This time between Roger Pierce and Jonathan Swartz. First time it was between Jonathan Swartz and Matt Grenier battling for that position. This just goes to show just how multi-groove this track is. The fact that racing for the race lead, you can get side by side like this and stay side by side for several laps. These guys now nearing on 4 laps side by side. Nobody giving an inch. Jonathan Swartz 1 second. Roger Pierce the next. Roger Pierce is, however, finally going to clear him off turn number 4, though. Single filed out now for about the top 15 positions.
And already you see the times are getting a little bit slower for those top 3. So the real question is, that battle for the race lead, their fast time starting this race was the 30.5s. Now we're in the 30.8s, 30.7s. So talk about, the speed for the top 3 have lost a little bit there. You see the 46 machine of Sean Kastritza. Kastritza right now in the 10th spot. John Kinder in that 9th spot in front of him. And there's a little bit more gap between a lot of these drivers so far early on in this one, as we are about 8 laps in the books here. And it's not that close right now. I think drivers are keeping their distance, don't want to ruin their race before it even gets started.
It's definitely too early to really start pushing it, I think. But speaking of people pushing it, our biggest mover of the race so far, riding in that 12th spot right now, you see him on screen, that's the 69 of Keith Hackney. 69K. He is up 13 spots in just 10 laps, less than 10 laps actually. He's been riding right here in this 12th position for a few laps now. You see him, he's going to take a look to the outside of Frankie Barroso to pick up that 11th position, make it up 14 spots. We take a look a little further back. We got the 6th machine of Barrett Morton. He's up 11 position. These are the 2 biggest movers, the 2 drivers that are moving forward in a big hurry. As you look right now, Barrett Morton, he's tailing the battle right now for that 16th spot between Brandon Robertson and Rocky Boyd. Boyd to the inside of Robertson at stripe. He's going to get up to the doors ahead for turn number 1.
And remember, Barrett Morton, he showed his pit strategy Monday night. I can speak there. IRP of Lucas Oil. So, yeah, that. That's pretty much what I was about to say at one point or another. But no, Barrett Morton there. He might be one to keep an eye on, see where he uses his pit strategy here tonight. But right now, Morton trying to gain some ground. He's going to get by that Brandon Robertson machine there. Now he's going after the 16 of Rocky Boyd III. Jason Bridges, he's up 8 spots. Barrett Morton up 12 spots. Keith Hackney in the 11th spot, up 14 spots. As there's some big movers and some big movers that have happened very quickly last night. Remember, there wasn't that many big movers till about lap 40 when pit stops became a thing. So now will it become a thing? Earlier in this one, the 46 machine of Kostritza, Keith Hackney right there, and the 12 machine of Frankie Barroso. That's the cars we are looking at right now, as you see Hackney trying to go up a little bit higher here, but now he's going to fall back right behind Kostritza, get the draft, see if he can make a move here. But Hackney losing draft from either or car as he keeps moving up and down lines. That's losing draft for that 69K, as now he's going to try and sneak to the inside. Not enough room, though, as Kostritza holds on to that spot over Hackney, that 12 machine of Barroso. He's now going to do a look like bump drafting pretty much there. So now those two are staying close by. And BJ Duval, these are the next-gen Cup cars, correct?
Yes, they are.
So the one lug nut on these cars. What are we looking at for pit stop times with just tires?
Yes.
Great answer there, BJ Duval. As Hackney now passes Kostritza. I knew I'd throw him a curveball with that one.
You know, I'm going to be honest with you. I see so many pit times come in throughout the week that I can never remember what the Cup cars are until it is time for the Cup cars, but I want to say it's right about 12 seconds for a 4-tire stop, 13 seconds for a 4-tire stop, about a second to 2 seconds quicker than the Truck and Xfinity cars for a 4-tire stop. So, very fast pit stops, happens extremely quickly, but I expect these guys, talking about pit stops, I expect them to start looking towards coming down pit road right around the lap 40 mark and split the stage in half.
Question is, well, 40, that's last night was 30 laps about for window.
Yeah.
So yeah, possibly. I'll give you that one. But the 57 of Adkins, he's in that 7th spot right now. He is trying to go past that 96 of Peters. So that's your battle for the 6th spot there, James Silvers. So 5, 6, 7, 8, and I think 9 there. Where's the 5 machine? So I think the 5 machine is also in that picture there. So yep, there's the 5. And also, so Hackney there as well. Nope, Hackney back there. So it is, let me see here, 17. 17 is 5. So 5 through 9 positions there are right in line here, battling it out. You see the draft again. I need Daytona because Daytona is all about the draft. This one, not so much, but at the same time it is.
Well, how about this, Alex? You come back for the next gens at Daytona, and I'll pay my fees and I'll hop on track. You can call a race with Steve and I'll go racing. Steve ran last season. I'll run this season.
I gotta talk to a league owner here for next season. I might have to put a team together for this.
We got a team.
I don't know.
Little Thunder Esports Racing.
No, I want my own team.
Oh. But anyway, right now you got Jonathan Atkins taking a look at the inside of James Silvers. That's where that 6th spot he's going to take over it, coming off of turn number 2. Looks like battle's going on a little bit further up ahead. Once again, I believe I saw Tony Iverson involved in a battle there. Yeah, that's for that 2nd position. Matt Grenier was able to take over the race lead over Roger Pierce. He's been sitting back, relaxing, saving his stuff. And now here comes Tony Iverson. Looks like he's been doing the same. He's going to look to the inside, side by side, down to turn number 1. Still staying neck and neck between these two drivers. Roger Pierce with the momentum on the outside through 1 and 2. Iverson way down low coming off turn 2. I think he might have got a little bit looser. Had to chase the car down the track. He's going to hang on to it and continue to fight for that position.
72-27, man. just swap the numbers around. That's pretty much what that battle is right now, is Iverson and Pierce still side by side there. I really like Tony Iverson's car.
Yeah, you would like Futurama car.
Of course.
I've never watched. I got nothing against this because I've never watched.
Show your age a little bit more there, why don't you?
Do what?
I said, show your age a little bit, why don't you there, bud?
Yeah. Well,
you did that last. You and Steve did that a lot last night as we talked about Atari and Nintendos.
Hey, don't diss my Super Nintendo, man. I still play that thing.
Look, if I send you a video of what I did yesterday on a go-kart, you would think I was Mario yesterday.
Yeah, I believe that.
But correction, a 6-foot frame on a small go-kart. I was more like a Bowser. Because there's no reason.
Yeah, I can see that.
There's no reason a big body should fit on a go-kart, but big body in a cup car, that sounds fun, and that's what these guys are doing right now. Battle up front, 15, that's Grenier, 72, that's Iverson, and we have ourselves a battle for the race lead.
Yeah, two drivers that normally you don't see them up here battling for the race lead. It's a nice change, nice to see these two up here. Tony Iverson's going to take over the race lead from Matt Grenier. Grenier's going back off and let him have the position. Excuse me, and a new race leader for the, I believe, 4th time tonight. I believe all 4 of the top 4 cars have now led laps.
That is a good possibility. But also here, folks, I see a lot of people watching. Say hi in the chat. Who's your pick to win? Who's your pick to win the stage here tonight? And also, let's play a little game also of what's your prediction? What lap do you think pit stops are going to begin here tonight? Let's get the fans involved here in this one, as 24 laps will be in the books here as your race leader. The 72 of Iverson will head to the start-finish line here. He is going. Excuse me there. So battles throughout. I'm intrigued to see what some of these fans say here, BJ, of when they think pit window is going to open, who's going to win the stage, and possibly who's going to win tonight's race itself. It's going to be fun to get the fans involved here and see who's their picks.
As for certain, as we watch right here on screen, Jonathan Swartz continues to lose spots. I don't believe at this point in time he's going to be a contender for the stage break. Granted, we still have 40, 50... 55 laps to go here at the stripe to the end of the stage. See, I do math. Jonathan Swartz has now fallen all the way back into that 6th spot after leading here early in the race. Jonathan Atkins moved his way inside the top 5. He's been slowly working his way up. But, you know, I still think that this race is anybody's game. You see the different speed levels, the different times that these guys are running. And how often we've already had a lead change just in the first 26 laps here. We've had the top 4 drivers right now have all 4 led laps at some point in time in this race, except for Mike Peters. Swap Mike Peters and Jonathan Swartz, and then we have top 4 that's all 4 of them have led. Mike Peters, furthest up he's been so far in this race, running in that 3rd spot. He is bringing Brandon Holder right along with them. And Jonathan Atkins as well.
That's the best answer I've seen. Eventually they'll pit. That I know for a fact. Yeah, that's pretty much how me and BJ are at some points here. I was hoping to get some estimates here, as I think I saw our dear friend Donnie Batiste put Jonathan Atkins. That's actually always a good pick. Atkins' consistency is always key for some of these drivers. But right now, Iverson, Grenier, Peters, Atkins in that top 4, then Brandon Holder in the top 5. Those 5 have been, I can speak English with numbers, 5 have been consistent. Roger Pierce is the only one. And remember, I talked about it early. Did Roger Pierce burn his tires up too early in this race? As right now he is dropping back, and he's in pit road. So pit stops to begin as Roger Pierce and BJ Duval. Can we just stay on him during this pit stop? Because I'm kind of intrigued here to see if he's going to be the first one. Since he's the first on pit road, is he going to take gas only, or is he going to take tires here? Because that is going to be a tell sign here. They have 5 sets of tires for tonight's racing action.
It's definitely a very good question. We'll watch here on the bottom of the screen. You'll see his pit stop now. He's on pit road. You see the time ticking away. That is his entire time on pit lane, 9.5 seconds. That is a fuel only stop for Roger Pierce. He's going to come back on track. A lap behind the rest of the field. To see everybody working their way around him right now. We'll jump back up here to the front, though, being led still by Tony Iverson. Matt Grenier in second. Jonathan Atkins in fourth, and a battle going on for fifth right now. It's between Mike Peters and Brandon Holder. Holder, he's been kind of quiet throughout the night, but right now he wants to stay inside that top five, wants to pick up more spots and go after a top three. Sitting in fifth right now, side by side with Mike Peters fourth.
Keith Hackney hits pit road, as I think a few more cars are planning on hitting pit road here. So interesting strategy. Remember, Hackney got bit last night on pit strategy, so maybe a little different of a pit strategy for him, as I think a few more cars will be ready to hit pit road soon here. So pit stop started on lap 30, as there you see the 96 machine and Iverson, all cars hitting pit road. So BJ Duvall, looks like the fuel window is still about 30 to 35 laps, I would say, for these drivers. So possibly if we don't get a caution here before the end of the stage break, they might have to pit before the end of the stage break, which would turn very interesting.
Yeah, that it definitely would. We'll take a look here and see what kind of pit times these guys come out with. You see Tony Iverson on screen. He was the race leader coming down pit road. We'll see. Okay, fuel only for him.
Silvers, he's going to take tires.
It does appear as though Silvers is taking tires as he's just now pulling out. See Silvers with a 15.2 second pit stop. So pit stop's actually averaging right around the same lap times, or right around the same times as what they did any other cars, which I'm going to be honest with you, Alex, that begs the question. What the heck was the point in going to one lug nut?
I don't know. I really honestly do not know, but here's the thing. Everyone except for I think two cars now have pitted, with that being David Farmer. He's pulling into pit road right now. Nick Mills, though. So Mills, Healy, Hawkins, the only three cars not to have hit pit road yet. They're the top three. And the biggest thing is there points for laps led or no? Because if there's not, I would have just pitted with everyone else to keep with the pack, get some draft. Because now, if you're three cars here, those three cars are going to go from the front all the way to the back now, as guys are going to catch up and get their laps back, as there goes the 88 of Nick Mills now into pit road. So Healy, Hawkins are going to be the only two in question here to see what they do. And Healy and Hawkins, those two are going to be the ones to keep your eye on. There's the 88 machine of Nick Mills. He's on pit road. So let's see where the other ones will go, as I think Healy get ready to hit pit road. Hawkins might be as well. So let's see as those two close in on the front stretch. Hawkins, he's going to go in as well. So Alex Healy right now, don't know, BJ, can we find Alex Healy? Is he on pit road or is he still out?
Alex Healy is still out on track. Ooh. Looks like he was about to spin out there for a split second, but Alex Healy stays out on track. Hawkins is still down pit road, and then number 27. He's been on pit road for quite a while now, actually, Alex. If I'm reading this right. And he is on his way out. Okay, so he was down pit road, was on pit lane for 8.1 seconds. Coming back on track. We'll add our pit timer there. You could tell just by the sound of the car that we'll see if we can get a look on board with him, but you could tell that he is just doing everything he can to save fuel right now. Does not sound as though he's really getting on it. Watch his RPMs here. See that little yellow line going across the bottom? That's like your dial gauge right there in the Xfinity and truck cars that we saw the last couple of nights. Yeah, he is off the gas halfway down the straightaway. He is in fuel save mode. I'd say he's trying to split the stage in half as he's going to give up the lead to Jonathan Atkins. Tony Iverson follows Atkins into second.
Well, DJ, look, he's So in next-gen Cup cars, for anyone who doesn't know, next-gen Cup cars have more than 4 gears. You see there on the dash, you see that number 4, that is the gear he is in. So you see him dropped. He dropped to the 3rd gear, and now he's back in 4th gear here, but he is not in 5th gear. I want to know if anyone else is. So BJ, can you hit like some other cars here? I want to see if they're in 5th gear. So right now, they're all on 4th gear, so I want to know. There's some
There's
guys.
Atkins.
So Atkins in 5th gear there. So guys are in 5th gear. So yeah, it's fuel save mode, especially for some of these guys. You got to think now, if the 30 to 35 lap was that fuel window for most of the guys that pushed hard. Because I think Alex Healy stayed in the back for most of the start of the race. He just, cruise control stayed there. So now if he's holding it till lap 40 to go in, going to be interesting to see as he's losing positions here. So he'll be a lap down, I think, by the time he hits pit road at this point, because he is losing positions very rapidly at this point. So Alex Healy, we're going to have to see how this plays out. Again, we're closing in on 40 laps to go in the stage, and still, oh boy, about 150 laps to go in this one itself. So it's going to be interesting to see if this game plan holds on.
Alex Healy, based on his RPMs and his fact that he's slowing down as drastically as he is, I'd say he's pretty much out of fuel. He's taking it down pit road right now. See him dropped all the way down to 2nd. I should have brought up the dashboard right there to see what kind of speed he hit pit road on. But we'll take a look back up front. Jonathan Atkins still leading this race over James Silverson, Rocky Boyd battling for that 2nd position. Yeah, I definitely understand where Alex is coming from on this one here. He's gone for basically what I said, and apparently the only one in the field going for what I said, and that's trying to split the stage in half. The fewer pit stops you make, you waste about 20 seconds, 20 to 40 seconds on pit road. I know that's a rather large gap. I'm actually going to take a look at it, and we'll tell you exactly what pit lane times we're looking at. Yeah, about 40 seconds for everybody. 42, 43, 43, 28, 37. So you run right about that, you might as well say 35, looking down here through the times. 35 to 42 seconds is about the mark that you end up spending on that pit lane. So that's a lot of time you're spending under race speed for these guys to come catch up. So the less time you spend on pit road, the better. So I can see the point for Alex Healy holding out and going down pit road later. However, how much did he hurt himself waiting that long and losing all those spots anyways?
And I'm catching up on some of the comments. I see picks there. Sean Kostritza pick to win it here tonight. GT Hawkins also might be a pick to win. Huffman, though, said running in 4th gear, not saving fuel at all. He was turning too many RPMs. But apparently he abused his tires. And again, BJ, we talked about it. Tire saving mode is a big thing, especially on a track like this. Or you remember, old Atlanta was a thing. They always call it Hot Atlanta, and it was always one of those things. Atlanta would burn your tires so quickly. This racetrack, on the same hand, if you're racing hard throughout this race, you're not going to have another set of tires if you're burning up your right front and your right side tires itself. You got to use a strategy here. That's what most of these drivers are trying to do here, but we are halfway to the end of the stage. Interesting to see, though. I miss Steve McMillan tonight. This is fun.
Right? Unfortunately, Steve having issues with his power being out. Not real sure what happened there, but the last update we heard was Steve's power was expected to be on by 11 o'clock tonight, so unfortunate for him and unfortunate for us and everybody watching the broadcast, because I can't see but 24 cars on track, which I've actually lost cars. I was at 28 yesterday, and I'm at 24 today, and I've not touched anything. So I'm baffled at the moment.
You know what, BJ? We have fun.
We always have fun.
I told Steve he can watch us. I don't know if he will, but if Steve's watching, hi, Steve. If Steve's not watching, still hi, Steve.
And I'm watching James Silvers trying to work his way through lap traffic and makes his way around Travis Tweedy's not going to pull up to the back bumper of David Farmer. And Take a look to the inside of David Farmer. He's going to run side by side with him. We'll look back up here to the front, though. Looks as though Hackney is catching up to Rocky Boyd. We'll see if we can get the time deltas here for everybody. Jonathan Atkins is considerably faster than the rest of them on track. We'll see what the times are between Hackney and Boyd this time by. The last two times by, Hackney was actually slower, but the gap closed considerably this time around. We'll look at it here. And Hackney is faster than Boyd that time, but only by a small margin. Atkins still continues to be right about a tenth and a half faster than Keith Hackney, and just over a tenth faster than Rocky Boyd. So Atkins, clean air in his favor. He continues to pull away up here as he's working his way through lap traffic now.
And BJ Duval, it's hard not to say it, but the race to the playoffs is on, because remember, after tonight, we will have only 3 races left before playoffs begin, and that's Watkins Glen, Nashville Superspeedway, and Daytona to wrap up the regular season. So for some of them, this is the final speedway, quote-unquote speedway, because apparently Nashville is a super speedway, even though it is a mile and about 3/4. Mile and a third for Nashville, even though it says it's super speedway. So this is the technical last speedway on the schedule. So for some of these guys that, say their favorite tracks are speedways, their next speedway is until, well, heck, then you got Darlington. Darlington's not really a speedway. That's, moderate track. Talladega, and then Dover, Charlotte, Roval. So I would say, heck, round 3 of playoffs when they go to Homestead is your next technical speedway.
It's playoffs are always my favorites. I always like watching these guys that are in the playoffs, watching their positions, seeing where they're at, seeing how things are going to play out for them. Right now, watching this race, though, we got 30 laps to go to the end of the stage. Atkins is sitting comfortably in the race lead for the moment. Take a look at the battle box on the bottom right here in just a moment, as soon as I find it on my button box. Well, it looks like it's not going to give us the relative between two drivers. It's only going to show us the lap. Okay, I see why. It's showing us the lap traffic around him. Atkins just surrounded by lap traffic. Can't actually see the second place driver behind him, but we know that the gap right now is right about 4, reaching 5 seconds in a rather big hurry. So I'm wondering right now if Atkins is going to go after a splash and go sometime soon and try to maintain that race lead as much as possible, but still have what he needs to make it to the end of the stage. Man, look at that number 88. I love that car.
Yes, we know you love pink on any car. I like the 57. You tell me why I like the 57.
I don't know. It's not pink.
Only BJ Duval with his pink.
Oh, let's see here. I'm going to say you like the 57 because it says World of Thunder Esports League, Ultimate Dirt TV, and Shockeye Racing.
Especially the employer of Ultimate Dirt TV.
The what?
Especially my employer, Ultimate Dirt TV.
Yes.
But,
and your other employer, World of Thunder Esports League.
Exactly. Thanks to Steve McMillan. But
That's right.
BJ Duval, we're zooming here. Knock on wood, of course. Knock on wood, majorly. That hopefully, past.
I knocked.
Last night, we went and had green to the green checkered for stage break, and then caution flags became an issue. Hopefully it's not an issue here tonight, especially with how this race is going. Drivers have been racing pretty cleanly. Atkins, Hackney, Silver still your top 3, but man, they're spread out amongst the track. There you see Sean Kostritza right now in the 4th spot, Tony Iverson in the 5th spot, as cars now start to hit pit road again. So let's see if strategies become a thing. That's what Mike Howerton, I think, as it is in the 51. So he hits pit road. Going to be fun to see who else hits pit road. As had to lock up the brakes. I think he almost overshot his pits. He did overshoot his pit stall.
I'm gonna have to ask about that Alien Factory podcast. I'm kind of interested now. I'm a big alien conspiracy theorist. And by the way, more pit stops are not actually underway. Timing scoring is lying to me once again.
So I gotta talk to the higher ups named Steve McMillan and Brett Wheeler. See if we can get ourselves a little podcast going.
Ain't none of us got time for that, man.
You know, I like to talk. I'll do it any day of the week. I like to talk.
Ain't that the truth? Why don't you go talk to Jason? He has a podcast.
I get paid to talk. Well, see, I also like to talk about real life racing as much.
They do talk about real life racing.
Dirt though, dirt too.
I'm sure they would if they had somebody knowledgeable about dirt. I don't know. Go watch the podcast, see what they do. Links are in the description. Make sure you check it out on the Bluegrass YouTube channel. Wherever you're watching from, you can always go over and check out the Bluegrass YouTube channel. Hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell. Let you know each and every time they upload a video or go live. But they do a podcast. I want to say it's every Monday. If I'm not mistaken, Jason, shoot me a message and confirm that for me. But, Jason's actually sent me 4 messages that I haven't caught up with.
At least he shoots you messages.
Tell Zach he can be our dirt guest. You mean Alex? You can mention the Bluegrass Race Hub podcast, available on all major podcast platforms. I believe that also includes Spotify. Remember, didn't I see a Spotify link for that at one point in time?
At least he messages you. No one messaged me anything. I feel left out of the loop. So, remind me to give Jason...
He said, yeah, Alex. So, I'm going to call you Zach the rest of the night, just because.
No.
So, Zach, what's your thoughts? We got 20 laps to go to the end of the stage, Zach. We got to have some more pit stops coming. Zach, what are we looking at?
I'm leaving.
And yes, they do upload on Monday nights for the podcast. Zach?
So first he doesn't message me at all. Then he calls me Zach. Man, I've been here 3 weeks and I feel insulted.
Oh, don't be insulted, Zach.
But pit stops, here we go. Tires, BJ, tires.
You like your tires. I do expect to see tires on this one here with 20 laps to go. Drivers like Keith Hackney did not take tires first time around. I expect to see him take tires this time here. You also got the 27 of Roger Pierce down pit road. Drew Parole, I believe, is also down pit road. Oh, no tires for the 69 of Keith Hackney. He's going to remain out on track.
Alex Huffman, though. Alex Huffman comes in clutch and sent me a message. Now I don't feel such... He goes, here's a message so you don't feel left out. I feel loved now.
See?
BJ, some people like me.
Yeah, some people do, Zach.
I love it. He messaged me going, I accidentally called you Zach.
Let's see. Road count is 9. Let's see if I can get on back. I want to see what Keith Hackney's pit road times were. Let's see if I can make this thing go further. And boom, there we go. All right, Hackney in 14th. His first pit stop was 13.3, so he did take tires the first time around.
Tires. Fun. BJ Duval.
Alex Robinson.
This is the only thing this is what I don't like about this kind of racing is they spread out and then it's now you gotta wait for someone to battle with someone again.
Hey, I am as happy as could be. I need to go to bed early tonight. I didn't sleep much last night, so I'm as happy as could be that they have spread out and given each other room. And the leader now comes down pit road. Second place as well. Jonathan Atkins, James Silvers, both down pit road. We'll bring the pit lane timer up and see just how long these guys spend in their pit lane. See whether or not they take tires and fuel. KOS. That would be Kostritza and Holders. HOL. He's also down pit road. And it looks like Atkins going to go for 7.7 stop. That is a fuel-only stop. Silvers as well, the 7.9 stop. And Atkins will come out first, but second on the scoring charts. Jonathan Swartz will take over the race lead with this pit cycle.
Oh, and on just a heads up, I gotta plug it. Now that I see it, I gotta plug it. BJ, you know what else? We gotta plug this here for a second, because someone is streaming on Twitch.
We are.
Well, not just us. Not just us. Jason Collins is streaming on Twitch.
Yes.
And if you wanna look inside what the admins do for this time, go hop over and go check out Jason Collins' Twitch at some point. There, it's the JC323. Man, that's catchy. That is really catchy. I'll give him credit where credit. That is catchy.
That it definitely is. But our new race leader, Brian Terry, was the race leader, but he's going to come down pit road, give it over to Rocky Boyd, the third. Jonathan Atkins rides in that second spot right now. You see him actually lurking directly behind Rocky Boyd as they go around lap car of GT Hawkins. But yeah, it's always nice to see stuff like that, because it shows transparency of the admin booth. You know, everybody can see what he sees, allows everybody to see what he sees anyways, and shows that there's no favoritism going on anywhere in any way. That's a good thing to have.
So BJ Duval, this is where it gets fun. As there goes
battle.
Atkins. I see. This man acts like I don't see.
Sorry, I was excited. I wasn't worried about whether or not you saw. I was excited. This is one of our World of Thunder Esports racing team drivers taking a look to the inside for the race leads. He wanted to take it back once again. He had it after the first cycle of pit stops, but Rocky Boyd, somewhere through all that, managed to take over the race lead. He pit on lap number 51, so he actually made his way back forward through the pit cycles, knowing that he could make right about 30 laps on fuel comfortably. He pitted on lap 51 to give him 30 laps at the end of the stage, and Atkins is actually going to back off by the looks of it to let Swartz make his way through and get himself back on the lead lap. He's going to take the high side now and go around Rocky Boyd, but Atkins still hot on the heels of Rocky Boyd for that first spot right there, but just 11 laps to go to the stage.
And BJ, some interesting things as well here. We gotta plug it a little bit while this is happening. That the Bluegrass Race Hub podcast on Spotify and all your major podcast platforms. Talk about the special guest over the past few weeks. They had Dustin Reinstedt was their guest this past Monday night on the podcast. Daniel Worthington was there last week, and then Blake Hensley, Keith Hackney were also on before. So there is some major guests from this great league throughout the Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday night series that are special guests, and I guess I'm going to be a guest at some point on here too, BJ Duval. So that's something fun to watch.
Well, that'll be the one I miss.
I mean, I'll bring a different aspect to the world of bluegrass there. They talk about asphalt a lot. Now you bring the voice of dirt, or one of the many voices. I won't be that arrogant. Many voices of dirt here on Ultimate Dirt TV. I got to think. Again, Steve McMillan is the OG. Him and Brett Wheeler are the OG voices of dirt. I'm just here.
I'm the guy who did the hardest he could to never be on the mics on a broadcast. I used to be the guy that only sat behind the scenes and pushed buttons. And then Alex started whining that he was the only one on call, so then I jumped in the booth, and, well, here I am now. I still don't like announcing. I'm just telling y'all, I still don't like announcing. I like sitting back pushing buttons.
That whole thing is just a little blurry. You know, it's a blurry thing to remember back in the day, but it's freaking fun to watch the battles throughout here. You know, we're closing in on racing action here. Just about 7 laps to go in the stage break here for some reason, I lost my timing and scoring. Oh, that's because there's Jason on my screen. Rocky your race leader, Atkins, Robertson. That's still your top 5, so battles are still trying to happen here. And I think I can't see from that far away. BJ, my eyes are not that good. There's a 16 machine.
Oh.
That's Rocky Boyd, your race leader. So it's Boyd and Atkins going at it there. And there is a lap car in front of your race leaders here, the 55 machine in front. There goes Boyd to the inside. He's not going to get by a lap car. So this is going to keep Atkins right in striking distance here. Keith Hackney, though, he is starting to close in on this pack here. It was about 8 to 9 second gap between him and Jonathan Atkins. Now Hackney's made it to about 7 seconds here. So can he get there before the end of the stage? I don't think so. But again, Keith Hackney always makes it fun to watch, as well as James Silver's the only 2 cars under 10 seconds behind your race leaders. Brandon Robertson, who's in the 5th spot, he is 12 seconds behind there. So keep an eye here, as it's going to be fun to watch near the end of the stage. Boyd, Atkins, Hackney, Silvers, Robertson, again, that top 5. Tony Iverson, he just made a pass on Sean Kostritz there for that 6th spot. Jason Bridges, he's up 9 spots. But the battle for the race lead, it's starting to get a little more interesting here with lap cars still in the way of your race leader, Rocky Boyd. Boyd, who's up 18 spots. Hackney, who's up 22 spots.
The battle was very close between those two. But now Boyd is starting to separate himself from Atkins. We'll take a look a little further back now that that has occurred. You see Sean Kostritzer riding in that 7th spot. You talked about the pass made on him by Tony Iverson. Iverson just outside the top 5, but looking to come after a top 5. Look at the speed that number 72 is carrying through turns 3 and 4 as he closed the gap up on Brandon Robertson right there. Now looks to the inside. This is for a top 5 position. Iverson has been very, very fast all night long. It's nice to see him up, or nice to see him going after it. And we just spoke with him last night. And it's looking like we might be talking with him again at this rate.
Yeah, he's having a very good run here tonight. Rocky Boyd out in front here as we close in 2 more times around the circuit for Boyd and Atkins. There's that 88 machine. BJ Duval, you love.
I do love that 88, but that is not what that was supposed to go to.
But here you see the race leaders as they will come to the proverbial white flag, this time by this time by, because it ends on lap 80, right?
Yes.
Yes. So the proverbial white flag is out for Rocky Boyd. One more time.
It ends at the end of lap 80.
Well, thanks, BJ. So, correction.
My bad.
In the dirt world, popsicle
we don't have
sticks
stage.
are in the air. Huh? So in the dirt world, popsicle sticks are in the air for your race leader there. Boyd, Atkins, they're going to go at it here side by side for the race lead. Hackney, Silvers, and Iverson still the top 5 here, but out in front, the 16 machine of Rocky Boyd. White flag now will be in the air here for the stage break. It's Boyd, it's Atkins, it's Hackney. That's your top 3. Hackney still hasn't got under the 7-second bracket between him and Atkins for that 2nd spot. So it's going to come down to your top 2 if Atkins has anything for your race leader here of Rocky Boyd. It does not look like it. They're going to go through turn number 3 and 4 here. Going to go by some Toyota signs and come past the Geico restart zone and taking home your stage win. It's Rocky Boyd. So Rocky Boyd takes home the stage win. Jonathan Atkins going to come home 2nd. Hackney, Silvers, Iverson, Grenier, Kostritza, Mills, Bridges, and Pierce. Your top 10 all taking home stage points for this one. So now comes the fun stuff. 80 laps are said and done. Stage break is done. We will go and have... we'll restart about lap 84. So 116, 115 laps left in this one. So proverbially about 3 more pit stops probably in this one, if not more, depending on if this goes green to checker the rest of the way. There might be a handful more pit stops involved in this one. BJ Duval, it's a good thing they don't have a camera on me because I'm having too much fun right now.
I believe that.
I'm Fast twitch has got me jacked up, so now I'm standing and walking around. The best part about having this headset, it's a long cord, so I can walk around, talk, watch the race, and just be antsy like normal.
That is definitely a benefit, and I do apologize if anybody hears rattling in the background. I'm going to give a little bit of insight that I don't think I've ever even told Alex, but I have hypoglycemia, and I was getting very sick and very dizzy and had to grab something to eat. So, I do apologize for the rattling in the background, but expect to see pit stops here. Just a moment being led down by Rocky Boyd. Here he comes making a left-hand turn, and wow. Surprised at some of the cars that stayed out right there. Granted, yes, they are lapped cars. Oh, wait. Pit road doesn't open until next time around for them, does it?
Obviously, they cannot pit till the second time around. So, lead lap cars on pit road here. And it's going to be tires, probably. I think they're going to take fuel and tires. I don't know why you wouldn't take tires unless you burned about 2 sets of tires in stage number 1. But BG Duval, I did say, you're looking at about 3 more pit stops here before the end, especially green to checkered if we go there, which would be fun to watch. But at the same point, this caution is where it gets fun because now you restack them and have some more fun with the front here. But Boyd wins the race off pit road. I'm waiting for iRacing to get the ticker like the NASCAR TV has, where we can actually get the race off pit road so we can see positions gained off of pit road.
Yeah, for sure. Positions gained or lost, but Alex, you said everybody taking tires what you expected, right?
Shush, I already see the pit times.
Well, Brandon Robertson did not come down pit road at all. He's not been on pit road since lap number 50. Rocky Boyd took 2 tires by the looks of it. Keith Hackney, no tires. James Silvers, no tires. Jonathan Atkins, 4 tires.
I'm
Jonathan
looking at
Swartz, yeah. Strategies all over the board here
I don't
with
know.
the pit call.
There goes the lap cars now down pit road. J.D. Ball.
Dr. Robinson.
While we're in this stage break, just so we can catch our breath, would you like to step aside and throw it to a quick commercial break?
I suppose we can. I don't know what I'm going to put up there, but we can.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we will be right back after these quick messages, possibly messages, but we will be back for the rest of the race. So, stage number 2 and final stage here at Charlotte. Okay, well, I think we're going back. And we're back. I was semi-right. I don't know if I was actually right on numbers here. As here we go. Guide car restart zone. Best part of the night. Restart time. There's the Coke signal. There's the Geico restart zone. And we are back green flag racing here for the second and final stage of this one. Great start for the 16 there of Rocky Boyd. Keith Hackney in the second spot. Battle for third right now as it's Atkins and Silvers side by side there for that third spot. You have also Schwartz behind there as now Schwartz and Silvers trade spots. 2x2 action going on throughout the field, but now new race leader Jonathan Atkins retakes the race lead here as it's going to be interesting to see, does he push his tires, who pushes tires, who does not, who saves tires, who saves fuel, and who does something stupid is the real question that we will always find out here at Charlotte. And I think I almost jinxed everyone in the field. Oh boy, but I got nothing. BJ Duval, I wish you were. Can you answer that question? I don't know what just happened.
You're interrupting me here, Alex.
Oh, I'm sorry, BJ Duval, but I just almost watched our top two spin in front of the field, and I don't think that would have been a pretty sight. And I really would not want to hear what race control would have to say if the whole field got wiped out.
The Jonathans are okay. They're fine. But right now, your top five, Atkins, Schwartz, a pair of Jonathans leading the race, followed by Iverson. Mikey Neal Jr. has finally made his way inside the top five for the first time tonight. And a battle going for that fifth spot. But it looks like Hackney is just going to give it up to Sean Kostritza here. And he's going to drop back another position.
See, I'm happy. See, BJ, people like you.
People like me?
Oh, okay, that's awful. Alex Huffman is awful. I just saw that comment. That is not funny, but it is funny.
Hold on, I want to know.
He goes, am I the only one wanting Alex to maybe trip on his court so we hear a loud thump? That's awful, but funny. I will give credit. That is kind of funny, but awful. And see, BJ, people love
That's priceless.
They love you and Steve. I'm just here. They don't. I'm just a replacement. It's fine.
I don't know why people like me. I'm a terrible announcer.
See, I would love to say I don't know why people don't like me, but people don't like me, and that's why I am just here. Well, apparently Alex Huffman likes me. He just likes picking fun at me at this point. I gotta keep it entertaining. Oh, the comment. You know what? I give credit where credit is due.
If you want a round on the wall, that's Mike Howerton. And caution flag is going to wave. Actually, just now realized I still had the tower instead of the ticker up. But caution flag is going to wave for the 51 of Howerton. Let's see if we can get a look at the instant replay here. Okay, I guess not. Yeah, try again. It looks like he just lost it. Take a look at our NLR instant replay, and he gets a little loose coming off of turn 2, and the car snaps back to the right up into the wall he goes. Everybody else does a good job to avoid him. And while all this was happening, they were 3 wide all over the place up in front of them. And then, meanwhile, Howerton just going around back here off of turn number 2. Unfortunate for him, but minimal damages to that number 51. Doesn't look like a whole lot of scrapes. Doesn't look like a whole lot of bent sheet metal there, which is going to be very good for him. However, that's going to put a lot of heat in those tires and, excuse me, a lot of extra unnecessary wear to the tires of that number 51.
Oh, and to answer there. Uh-oh, who messaged me?
Oh,
he did message me. I think I did plug that. I did.
What did you plug? Oh. Yeah, we did.
But no, to answer Charlene Kostritz's answer, there is BJ. You want to answer that? She wants to know why sometimes it's saying that Sean's out.
Well, that would be because my computer is on the verge of death, and I continue to try to push my graphics far beyond what they're capable of, and even when I don't, for some reason, I can no longer render all of the cars on iRacing. After 3 years of pushing my computer well beyond its limits, there's a reason why I don't produce very often, and that is it. So, unfortunately, a lot of times that the drivers in the field are going to look like they're out of the race according to timing and scoring when they are in fact not, but it does eventually always catch up. Our official results are always show correct because it pulls that directly from iRacing's results screen, so we'll be able to see stuff like that in the end.
Oh,
So I do apologize.
I see Bill Miller comment at Mr. Asphalt, so hi Bill. I also see Donnie commenting Mr. Asphalt, so hi Donnie.
They did tell you they were going to.
I might actually keep plugging the podcast because I like racing podcasts, and racing podcasts are fun to listen to. So again, it's always fun. It's always interesting. And if you want to know more about what goes on behind the scenes at Bluegrass, you can keep an eye on Jason's. Is it Jason? It's Jason, right?
Yeah.
Jason's Twitch at the JC, capital C, 323 on Twitch. You can watch what happens and what goes on in the race control booth, which is a little bit down the hall from us in the broadcast booth, but that is all happening in the race control booth as well. Keep an eye. Bluegrass Race Hub podcast every Monday night always has some fun special guests on there, so keep an eye out on that because that is always fun. And if you want to know more about the drivers and what goes on during the week, that is another thing to listen up on. And BG Duval, for us, Ultimate Dirt TV, we are live Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday with Bluegrass, the Truck Series Monday, Xfinity Series on Tuesday. Wednesday, it's the Cup Series. And then don't forget Sundays, World of Thunder Esports League will be live also on Ultimate Dirt TV. And Friday night, BJ Duval, like Steve said yesterday, we have some tricks up our sleeves at World of Thunder. We're going asphalt racing. It's Daytona time on Friday night, so that'll be fun to watch as well and get to call because Steve rattled me into that one too. So,
That's right.
there's always, ladies and gentlemen, we are, BJ, I think we're getting back to what Ultimate Dirt TV was during the COVID time, and that is broadcast racing. Monday, Tuesday, actually Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. There's going to be something cross-platform here on Thursday nights. So keep a lookout on that one come March. BG Duval, you know what I'm talking about. Friday nights, we don't have anything yet because of real racing kicking up. But also in the mornings here in the States, you can keep an eye if you get up early. Brett Wheeler will have some Australian leagues in the morning here in the States. It'll be evening over in Australia. So there is stuff going on. Lights are out. Double file restart.
There he goes.
BG Duval, you thought I was not going to see it.
I was just going to say, you know how we know that Alex likes to talk? I have not gotten a word in almost this entire caution, but we're going back to the green.
I'm plugging everything, and I also saw it was the Geico restart zone time. So pace car is in. And here we go past the one more Charlotte sign. You're going to pass the Coke sign and into the Geico restart zone. Jonathan Atkins, green flag is back out. Atkins gets a good jump there on the 72 machine there of Tony Iverson. Mikey Neal Jr. Oh, well, hi, Mikey. You're in the top four right now, and he's battling it for that third spot with Jonathan Schwartz.
And Mikey Neal Jr., the winningest driver of the Cup Series last season, second winningest driver across the board. And he wants to go after it and go for more, and he wants to be one of many different leaders we've had here throughout the night. Drivers who have led without the pitch cycle giving them the race lead would be amongst them Jonathan Atkins, Jonathan Schwartz, and Tony Iverson right there, all inside the top, right right there inside the top 5. But right now we got Sean Kostritza found his way inside the top 5, and Mikey Neal Jr. wanting to go after the race lead. Takes a look to the inside now of Jonathan Swartz as they head down into turn number 3, side by side now for the race lead. Give it to Mikey Neal Jr. coming off of turn number 4. He's going to slide in front of Atkins. He's got that spot secured.
There you see the 46 machine. Sean Kostritza there battling with Jonathan Swartz for that 4th spot there. But talk about Mikey Neal Jr. plus 19 spots up into the top spot. Jonathan Atkins, actually, everyone is at least plus positions except for Jonathan Swartz in the top 5 right now. Neal Jr. 19, Atkins 8, Tony Iverson up that 1 spot. He started 4th. Kostritza up 5, and then Swartz, he's dropped down 4 spots. So a tough one right now for Swartz, but he's been in the top 5 most of the night, so keep an eye on that 95 to stay in the picture as well.
Yes. Go ahead, Alex.
Oh, thanks, BJ. Man, I plugged all that stuff during caution. I can't even get a...
Hold on.
But Mikey Neal Jr., he is out in front. BJ, if you want me to carry some more, you should just text me. But out in front there, you see the 95 machine. That is Swartz. Brandon Holder, who started 6th, he is in 6th. He is closing in on that 95 machine right now. They're going to go into turn number 1 and 2. And the battles continue as actually. There we go. So battles throughout. And it's going to be a 3-car battle, actually, as it's Swartz, Holder, and Roger Pierce back into the mix here. Remember, Pierce, he lost a lot of spots when he hit pit road. One of the first cars to hit pit road, and now he is back in the picture. Here's a 3-car battle. Continues on. Swartz, Pierce, Dustin, Ryan Steno. He is in the 8th spot trying to close back in on that front pack, but now Brandon Holder, he's up in the 5th. Pierce up into 6th, and Swartz now loses 2 more positions. So tough running for that 95 machine of Jonathan Swartz. So Swartz going to have to get to work if he wants to gain some spots back. But up front still, it's Mikey Neal Jr., Atkins, Iverson, Kostritza, and Brandon Holder now entered the top 5.
You know, talking about Jonathan Swartz dropping back, we have just passed the halfway mark. Lap 1, the end of lap 100, beginning with lap 101, was the halfway mark in this race. And Jonathan Swartz, right around the last 5 laps, was backing off. I almost wonder if he wasn't looking at how much time was left in this race, how many laps were left in it, and decided it was better for him to sit back and start to relax a little bit here at this stage of the race and not push it, save his fuel, try to cut down how many pit stops he has to make, and have a greater chance later of pushing forward. Meanwhile, back up front, Tony Iverson is retaking that 2nd position. Mikey Neal Jr. continues to lead the way. Sean Kostritza now looking to try to move into that 4th spot to the inside of Roger Pierce.
Pierce in that 4th spot. Kostritza in the 5th spot. Battles on here. It's also that 9 machine. Brandon Holder, he's back to 6th. He is looking to gain some more spots here. Mikey Neal Jr., though, is still your race leader, as we have now under 100 laps to go here in this one tonight, BG Duval. Now we're closing in to what we're used to as voice of dirt guys, you know. Now 100 laps, that's or wait, no.
I don't even think you could call me a voice of dirt anymore, though.
Yeah, no, you're more of an asphalt guy.
I don't even like asphalt.
But if you ask if you ask those two, apparently I'm an asphalt guy. I don't know. Apparently BJ and Steve are now converting me, as I guess I can blame Jason too, because he's pulled me into this one too.
Well, asphalt can be very entertaining. My favorite ones to call, and I do actually enjoy calling them, is super speedways, which is funny because sometimes I'm torn. Like this season, the end of the regular season, I'm torn as to whether or not I'm going to say, "Hey Alex, why don't you come call this race?" and I'm going to go hop on track and race if Jason will allow me. Or do I stay in the booth and call it? Because I actually like doing both. But, of course, me personally, I'm always a driver first. So that's where I lean towards. Meanwhile, back down here on track, we got Brandon Holder is attacking the inside on Jonathan Swartz. Swartz now starting to... Atkins. Wrong Jonathan. Atkins now starting to fall back as he's now losing that 4th spot.
Mikey Neal Jr. still up in front. Atkins, like you said, dropping back to the 5th spot. BJ Duvall, yeah, you're more of a driver at this point now in my life. My racing career, I'm more of an announcer and a promoter. So we're separated. Okay.
Okay.
Are you following? Or are you just saying yes to everything now?
Uh-huh.
Good enough for me.
Mike Peters taking a look to the outside of Sean Kostritzy's going to have the position off of turn number 4. Kostritzy trying to battle back now on the inside. Kostritzy had that inside locked down on him. Peters kept taking a look to the inside, but Kostritzy was closing the door, so he moved to the outside. He's got quite a bit more speed than Kostritzy does at this point in time. Now off turn number 2, he's got that spot secured. Kostritzy's going to slide up in behind him. Down the back straightaway, the top. And it looks like right about the top 12 cars, just about all single filed out. The only first battle on track is actually lap traffic, working our way around the 18 of Dustin Reinstedel, and that brought John Kinder in the 5 into the mix of that battle right there. Here comes 94 of Bobby Hall Jr. as well. Another lapped car looking to make his way back forward, trying to get back on the lead lap.
Battles continue on here. Neil Iverson, Pierce Holder, and Peters, your top 5. There's a 96 machine. That is Mike Peters. Jonathan Atkins right behind. Actually, Atkins actually a little bit further behind than I thought he was. So Atkins losing some ground there on that 96 machine, as actually Peters gaining ground on Holder. So Holder might be in the grasp of Mike Peters very soon here for that 4 spot up front. More. There's the 72 machine of Tony Iverson. Iverson, Neal, and Pierce. That's your front 3 there in that front pack, as laps are starting to wind down here, BJ. And now the question is, when will pit times start? You know, these guys pitted on lap 80. Actually, Roger Pierce and them. Roger Pierce, Mike Peters, they pit on lap 92. So for some of these guys, pit might come in very quickly here. It's going to be interesting to see if teammates start pitting together or if it's a little bit more of a random pit time.
Yeah, forgive me, I'm responding to Jason for the moment, but still on screen watching that 72, trying to close the gap on Mikey Neal Jr. He has closed it quite a bit over the last several laps, but they've kind of leveled out. It looks like it's lap traffic of John Silver's coming into play here. Ooh, look at Silver's cut through right there back to the high side. I thought for a second that he was going to actually get the run off the corner on Mikey Neal Jr. to get his lap back, but it just doesn't happen. Now, Tony Iverson under attack by Roger Pierce behind. More drivers making their way back off of pit road. That was the 51 of Howard. How do you say his name? Where's it at? Howerton.
Are you having a problem there?
Yeah. I had a brain fart.
That's fine. We don't judge. I am just... sorry. Everything is going all over the place right now. BJ?
Yeah.
Okay, so you can hear me.
Yep.
Me can't see nothing, so...
Ooh, that ain't good.
At least you can hear me, so I can at least go off timing and scoring because I just loaded that on my phone while everything works. So Mikey Neal Jr. still in first, Tony Iverson, Pierce, Peters, Holder still your top 5 as battles will continue to form here as caution flag waves. DJ, I have time to fix some stuff.
Ew. See if I can't push the screen back to you on my end here. There we go. Caution flag is out on the track, as Alex just mentioned. Looks like Rocky Boyd going to be involved in this one here. We'll take a look at our instant replay. Rocky Boyd was having a pretty decent night. Not sure if he had contact there, if he just got loose. Take another look at it here. Now he just gets loose off the corner 4 there and up into the wall. Little uncharacteristic for Rocky Boyd there as he slides it to a stop right there on the front straightaway. and then takes it back pit side. But unfortunate for Rocky Boyd, caution, bringing out the caution here on lap number 115. Mike Neal Jr. now going to lead everybody down pit road, it looks like. So far, I haven't seen anybody stay out.
We're back. I see everything. We're back.
Yo. Alex has returned to life. Dustin Reinsettle stays out. Looks like Keith Hackney might have stayed out. Reinsettle will take over the race lead momentarily. We'll see if he decides to stay on track. It looks like everybody just taking, most of the people I should say, just taking fuel. Rocky Boyd now making his way back on track. I see him right there in the mix of this lineup of cars. No, I might not be Rocky Boyd. I think I was Mike Peters. The cars look rather similar. But our top 5 now, due to the pit stops, that's going to be Dustin Reinstetter, Roger Pierce, Jonathan Atkins, Sean Kostritza, and Mikey Neal Jr. rounding out your top 5. That's going to be Tony Iverson, Mike Peters, Jason Bridges, Brandon Holder, and Nick Mills making your top 10.
So for some reason on my ticker here, Bobby Hall Jr. did not pick, correct?
Bobby Hall Jr. He's coming down pit road right now. Bobby Hall Jr. was a lap car, so pit road was probably not open for him. Dustin Reinsettle came down this time as well. So surprised to see Reinsettle take the later option on the pit stop.
BJ Duvall, I just want to know how fitting it would be if the top 3 were Jonathan Atkins, Sean Kostritza, and Mikey Neal Jr.
Yeah.
I think it'd be fun to talk to Mikey as a driver and interviewing Mikey as a driver to see.
You've not had that opportunity yet, have you?
No, the only time I get to talk to Mikey is when he's announcing with me.
Well, tell Mikey he needs to pick up the pace a little bit and get more podium finishes now that you're becoming a regular over here.
Am I a regular?
Of course.
I think that's a. I think I'm just here.
All right, let's do this. Number 12. Who's number 12? Oh, taking too long to answer. You there, Alex? Did we lose you? Uh-oh. Might have lost Alex.
What? I'm like.
Yeah, there he is. There he is.
12. Wait, which 12? There's multiple 12s through 3 nights of racing.
In the Cup Series, who's the 12? Without looking at your scoring.
But well, too bad I already looked.
Ah, you cheater. All right, let's try a different one. 94.
Oh no, Peters is 96.
Oh, you know numbers.
I
what
don't
about
know numbers that well?
What about 29?
You're asking me guys that I don't.
Come on.
Well, it's not 29. It's 29. Dang it.
Ah, see, you do know it. See, that means you're a regular.
That's because we hung out with Travis multiple times over the past 3 weeks.
If you know the 29, you're a regular. And yes, I've started calling him the 29 because I just like it. So a little bit of background information as we're getting set to come back green. Roger Pierce going to choose the inside, but little background information on that. I do truck paints for American Truck Simulator for race car haulers, and I made one for Travis Twitty, and I actually named the paint in there the 29. So.
BJ.
What?
Lights are off. Double file.
I know.
Pace car's going to go in. There's the first Toyota sign. We're going to pass another one, and the pace car's going to go in. There's the home. There's the other Toyota sign. Is there a third? There's not a third, actually, before he goes in.
We had this conversation last night.
No, there is a third. It's the third on the inside of the wall there.
Yeah.
As there he goes. There's the Cup Series. There's the Coke sign coming up. And then after that Coke sign, it is the Geico restart zone. Green flag is out the 27 machine of Roger Pierce. Jonathan Atkins. We go into turn 1 and 2. Atkins going to drop down. There's the 46 of Kostritza. There is the 8 of Mikey Neal Jr. That is your current battles here. As now Mikey Neal Jr. going to try and make that middle line work. He's going to take over the second spot from Jonathan Atkins. Tony Iverson in the 4th spot. Charles Kostritza, he's dropped back 3 spots now into the 6th spot.
Kostritza looked like he just got swallowed there by Mike Peters and Tony Iverson. Meanwhile, there was momentarily a battle for that lead position, or at least I thought there was, but it looks like Mike Peters going to work his way around and just rocket himself into that second position around Roger Pierce. Now Atkins trying to fight back and get positions back as he looks back to the outside of Roger Pierce. There's a lot of scuffling going on right there that's allowed Mike Peters and Mikey Neal Jr. both to extend out to a comfortable race lead over the rest of the field. Atkins will clear comfortably into that 3rd spot, but as I say that, here comes Iverson back to the inside. Atkins goes high and just lets drivers by here. A little surprised to see that. Brandon Holder and Jonathan Swartz going to work by him as well.
Swartz gets by Atkins. There's up front. Mikey Neal Jr. back in the race lead. But talk about Mike Peters running the fastest lap of the race here on lap number 120, not lap 20. Numbers. As here we go, battle for the race lead there. Neal Peters side by side. Close there.
Yeah, very, very close. Mikey Neal Jr. having to back out. It nearly made contact with Mike Peters, but Peters is absolutely flying right now around this track. No problems at all for that number 96. He is just gone.
Gone like the wind.
Gone like... Moving on. I'm going to have a song stuck in my head. Thanks, Alex.
I can... I wish Steve was here, and I wish Steve was watching, because in the words of Steve McMillan, and I think Mike Peters took it here, you got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them, and just know when to run. And Mike Peters right now is long gone running away from Mikey Neal Jr. for that top spot. Tony Iverson in the 3rd spot. Brandon Holder, well, he's holding on to 4th.
And he's just hanging on right now to that position. Swartz, we saw him dropping back earlier. Now he rides comfortably in 5th. He's got Matt Grenier right about a car length and a half behind him. And look who's sticking his hat back inside the mix of the top 5 discussion. That's going to be Keith Hackney. So he takes a look to the inside of Matt Grenier. He's looking to get back up there. We saw him up towards the front earlier. He's back towards the back and back up to the front again. Just a yo-yo of a day for Keith Hackney. Right now, he's going to move his way back in that 6th spot. Battle right in front of him for that 4th spot between Swartz and Iverson. That's going to open the door for Hackney to move to the outside of Iverson now for that 5th position. Meanwhile, Mike Peters has taken over the race lead over Mikey Neal Jr. by right about a half a second. And it hasn't taken him very long to do that. It actually looks as though Mike Peters might have backed off of it some and has allowed his tires to possibly cool off from that run that he had pushing forward. And he also might have burned him up a little bit as hard as he ran forward to gain that race lead.
Sorry, BJ. Mike was muted again.
It's okay. Go push some buttons, Alex.
This is why I don't produce. It's bad enough trying to run everything off a mixer board for myself. So this is why BJ gets paid big bucks, and I'm just here for the fun of it.
Wait,
but
I get paid?
Oh, that's right. BJ, just remember, I just get paid to talk. Okay, for some reason, everything just spiked on the board. This is why I don't touch buttons. But Mike Peters out in front, Mikey Neal Jr. in the 2nd spot, Swartz, Holder, and Hackney, your top 5. So John Kinder just ran the fastest lap last lap. So the track is fast. These guys are getting faster. Tires are still somewhat there.
Well, now you got me. Now you got me curious, and I gotta find this button in here so I can show it on screen. I got a lot of buttons to play with here, which is part of the reason why I prefer to just do one or the other and not both. But if I can find it, hey, right there it is. Ready? Set, boom. Whew. Alright, so our track temperature is at 84 degrees. It's not too terribly hot, but it's not really cool either. So it's right about, you know, it's the middle point. It's got a little bit of grip in it. Not a whole lot though, but all in all, still a good track to run on, and you're seeing it, seeing the effects of it. You're seeing the speeds just absolutely flying right now for these guys.
Well, and BJ, it's a nice 78 degrees in Charlotte now. That sounds wonderful. Just wish
It is.
I just wish. Oh wait, tomorrow we're going to be in the 70s, so I can wish a little bit right now. As we have a wintering mix. Tell me how fun Mother Nature is with a wintering mix tonight, and 70 degrees tomorrow, because that just spells.
You wanna know just how close you and I are, Alex? Same forecast. But Jonathan Swartz. Whoop, too far forward. Jonathan Swartz still hanging on in the third position. Brandon Holder right behind him, and a hard charging Keith Hackney right there in the mix, ready to go after it as well. Meanwhile, up front, Mikey Neal Jr. has closed that gap on Mike Peters. Peters dives way to the inside, no doubt, to try to break that draft from Mikey Neal Jr. down the back straightaway. But look at how quick Mikey Neal Jr. continues to just close that gap between he and Mike Peters.
Yeah, and the battles will continue on here. As side by side they will go. Peters, Neal, the battle of the mics. Going on Brandon Holder, sorry, I know Brandon Holder. Tell me how weird that is when I know a Brandon Holder and there's a Brandon Holder.
Yeah. How about as weird as having a battle of the mics for the lead, and earlier we had a battle of the Jonathans for the lead. Not that weird.
There's a Michael Robinson in here, but he's not my father. Man, anything and everything is happening at Bluegrass tonight. But I'm a little upset. The comment section is a little dead right now, so I want to know where all the race fans are. We're closing in here on about 50 laps to go. Did the picks change here for the fans? Does Mikey Neal Jr. pull this one out? Who do you think is going to come home with the win? Is pit strategy going to play a difference here? Are we going to go green and checkered?
Nope.
These are all valuable questions that somebody can answer. As I see Huffman, he's finally, Alex Huffman's back in here. Peters abused his tires trying to pull away, saw it coming from a mile away. This is why Alex Huffman should just be in the booth tonight and give us driver analysis.
Right? Like, there's not just that, but, you know, I'm going to go ahead and answer your questions. Will pit strategies come into play here? Absolutely. Will we have a green flag run to the finish? No, we will have a green white checkered. You're on call. I mean, come on, hashtag blame Alex. But meanwhile, out on track is still Mikey Neal Jr., Mike Peters, Brandon Holder, Tony Iverson in that fourth spot, Jonathan Swartz and Keith Hackney right there on your screen, trying to work their way around lap traffic. That's going to be the 76. I don't actually see a 76 on scoring. There he is, Drew Prohl. Find him.
Yeah, so let's see here. Pit stops are on lap 115, BJ. So we are closing in on 20.
Yeah.
The pit window is about 30 to 35. But again, the real question is, I see Alex Huffman keeps putting race analysis in here. Why is he not in the booth giving us an insight as a racer? Like, that would be so useful if he came in as a racer to give us race insight. And for some reason, BJ, you're going to need to talk because apparently something broke.
Yeah, you did just get a lot louder in my ear there for some reason. But the field now starting to spread out. These are probably about three of the closest cars on track. Swartz, Hackney, Grenier. We'll take a look a little further back and we'll see John Kinder back here in that 8th position. Brandon Robertson riding in 9th. And that beautiful yellow number 3, Frankie Barroso, moving alongside of the 94. That's the lap car of Bobby Hall Jr. And you look like I nearly made contact between those two drivers. We're able to hang on. James Silvers riding in that 11th position. Jonathan Atkins finds himself mired all the way back in 12th. Not the way he was wanting his night to go here at this stage of the race. Roger Pierce rides in that 13th position along with Jason Bridges, not far behind him. Nick Mills will round out your top 15 cars. Nick Mills has Dustin Reinstedel and Sean Kostritza both behind him. Kostritza, another World of Thunder Esports driver that has been up towards the front throughout the majority of the night, just like Jonathan Atkins, but is not there at the moment. Not in positions they really want to be in. Guy who is in position wants to be in, Mikey Neal Jr., though. Currently up to a 1.5 second lead. What, Alex? What? Are you back?
Are we fixed? Is this still loud? Or am I quiet now?
No, you sound good now.
Sound normal? Okay, sounds good. For some reason, I accidentally bumped one of the sound bars, and that's what happens when you touch stuff.
Raise your hand in chat if you think Alex shouldn't have buttons. My hand is up.
Shocker, your hand is up. But here we go. Battles continue on. I have a feeling Alex Huffman's going to say yes, as this is why I do this.
This is why you call races, and I push buttons.
This is why you shouldn't give announcers buttons to push, because it gets...
Ooh, shiny!
Well, the thing is, I didn't even mean to do it. I touched my phone, and my phone was right next to the bar, and I dropped my phone, and chaos happened. It's like Daytona. The big one happens, and, well, the big one happens on a sound bar, and it just means I get very loud very quickly. But Mikey Neal Jr., he is leading, and he's leading big very quickly. And remember how I said you got to know when to run? Yeah, know when to run was Mike Peters, and it might have cost him the race lead here. So let's see as tires are changing.
Tires are changing. Atkins, Kostritza, Reinsettle, Mills all came down pit road. Atkins and Kostritza, no doubt, trying to plan together. Two teammates right there trying to plan together and get some stuff running for them here.
Okay, BJ, so one person's telling me that I deserve buttons. Another person's telling me that I'm quiet.
Saying that you're quiet? Do I need to turn them up?
Is that better? Or is that too loud?
You can't go over a certain level on my end anyhow. So here, let's do this to try to level them out. I'm gonna pull mine back a little bit, and I'm going to expand Alex's just a little bit, maybe.
This is why I can't touch buttons. But Mikey Neal Jr. is still out in front. Hopefully, I'm gonna keep an eye on the comment section. Somebody needs to tell me if I'm better or worse or what's going on. But right now, your race leader is still Mikey Neal Jr. in second, let me do something here so I can see this. There we go. Mikey Neal Jr. in the top spot. Brandon Holder in the second spot. Iverson, Peters, Schwartz, your top 5. And Keith Hackney in the 6th spot. Those guys still have yet to pit. So let me see here because I need to expand this. There we go. So, yes, these guys pitted on lap number 115, so it's going to be interesting here. Now we've hit that 30-lap stage here. So, do you pit now? Do you wait till lap 150, try and gauge out this pit stop a little bit better here? Because, again, this pit stop might be the make or break money pit stop for this one.
Yeah, it definitely could be the make or break pit stop. Peter Silvers currently, as you said, on pit road, and as we flipped over here, there they go. You see the sides of the cars going up. It means they are, in fact, taking tires. Brandon Holder taking over that second spot from Mike Peters with the pit cycles, but he's got Iverson right there on his back bumper. Iverson, he's been very, very quick throughout the entire night. He's had a very strong number 72 underneath of him, that number 72 Camaro. That thing is ready to rock and roll, and possibly one of the best I've seen him run over the last 2 seasons.
Donnie Batiste. Of course, Donnie. That comment is great. Not good. We can still hear him. So, yeah, that just shows how bad everything has gone for me tonight. Mikey Neal Jr., though, out in front. BJ Duvall. This is what happened. Let's be honest. This is what happens when Steve leaves us two in charge.
But wait, sorry, what? I was checking my audio for myself too, and watching Alex's comments. So thank you, or Huffman's comments. Thank you, Alex.
Again, this is what happens when Steve McMillan leaves us both in charge of something here. It never ends well for both of us.
That's not true. Hey, I had to go back and check my audio because when I said you were quiet, I was starting to question my audio levels again because I had issues with that recently on my streams. So I had to go back and check it. But meanwhile, race leader of Mikey Neal Jr. on pit road. So Tony Iverson is your race leader once again. This will be the second time throughout the night we've seen him lead, but he's going to make his way down pit road with Jonathan Swartz following. Matt Grenier is going to take over the race lead now.
Yeah, battles are on, and I'm getting messages now, BJ. I feel special. People do care about me at some points. They're messaging me, telling me how my mic sounds, so we're getting better. But pit stops still continue. Iverson Schwartz. Those cars on pit road here, and here's where it gets fun, BJ.
I've been having fun all night.
No, because the thing is, if a caution flag waves, we bunch these guys back together, and then pit strategy really plays a good thing.
Yeah, if we get a caution right now, we've got everybody from looks like 10th place on back that ends up being mired a lap down at this point. Matt Grenier still scored as your race leader as he comes down pit road. Jason Bridges in that second position.
Oh, BJ.
And there goes Jason Bridges to the race lead. And he's got the 27 of Roger Pierce coming around him to get his lap back.
Jason told me to tell you to drag him up.
Jason told you to tell me to drag him up.
The boss man said.
Alex is quiet. Yo. Okay. Dragging Jason. Hello.
What's
Jason.
up, guys?
What's going on?
Not much. Just listening to the awesome broadcast that you guys are putting on. Just want to make sure we don't bring out that commentator curse. Let's not talk about Rex.
Hey, it'd be Alex's fault if it does.
Let's not talk about how good this race has been so far. So.
Oh, let's
fingers crossed.
Race? What race? There's been a race?
Fingers crossed it stays like this.
We had knocked on wood during the stage break. I don't know what else you want us to do there.
But I just want to say, great job, guys. Keep up the good work. Y'all are awesome as always. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll get you back down there in the big hauler. That's where you were, correct?
Yes, sir. Thank you, guys.
All right. Yes, sir. Have fun.
So that was the boss man there of Jason Collins. Don't forget the JC. So it's the J spelled Jay, capital C 323 on Twitch. You can watch everything that happens in the admin booth on that Twitch channel, or you can listen to us as well here on Ultimate Dirt TV on Twitch, Facebook, YouTube. You can also watch us, as a lot of people are, on the Bluegrass Iracing series YouTube channel as well. There is multiple ways to listen to me, BJ Duvall, Steve McMillan when he is here, Brett Wheeler when he is here, or Mikey Neal Jr. when he pops in the booth. There is a whole bunch of us now that show up and call races, and you can watch us pretty much close to 5 to 6 days a week. It feels like now, BJ Duvall, we're back to the groove of it. So 5 to 6 days a week, we are live on Ultimate Dirt TV. You either will have me, BJ Duvall, Steve McMillan, Mikey Neal Jr. on Monday nights because he pops in here, and of course the OG of Brett Wheeler. But BJ Duvall, I gotta keep plugging it. This is fun. Never thought I'd say that. I never wait. Timeout.
Alex is having fun on asphalt. Let's mark it in the record books. Bill, Donnie, I hope you're still watching. Write that one down. But meanwhile, back on track. Let's get back to the topic at hand here. You mentioned Mikey Neal Jr. in the broadcast booth, but right now he's on track and back to the race lead. He has taken, while you were doing your plugs there, made his way back past Mike Peters. And is back to, once again, another commanding lead. And we got a driver up in the wall, it looks like. I believe that was Tony Iverson back there. not entirely sure who that was back there behind.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Apparently,
But-
Mikey called his shot on the podcast Monday night that he was going to win here at Charlotte. So
All right.
it's gonna be fun. Now I'm really excited. This is why you can't drink. This is why I shouldn't drink so much caffeine, because now I'm saying stuff like having fun on asphalt. I'm in trouble.
I'm just gonna let you run with it, man. I'm just gonna let you run with it. Meanwhile, right now on top of the charts, it is still Mike and Neil Jr., Mike Peters, Brandon Holder, Jonathan Schwartz, Brandon Robertson, your top 5. And then it's going to be Hackney, Silvers, Kinder, Grenier, Iverson, your top 10. Iverson, man, what a night he has been having in that number 72 machine. He's been up in the front several times, led the race a couple of times. Right now, still continues to ride inside that top 10 with quite a bit of racing to go. He's got 42, 43, 44, I can count. I had to get there. 44 laps remaining in this race.
It's not going to be enough.
You don't think? They still got more pits going on here.
But here's the thing. For some of those guys, they pitted on lap 45, 47, that 40 range. They're not going to have enough fuel. I will be surprised if they have enough fuel to make it to the end here. But
like I said, there's still more pit stops.
That's what I was saying.
Don't let the broadcast fool you. Alex loves me sometimes.
Oh, sometimes is the key word. Sometimes. But there it is. I love it. Remember how I messed with Jason about not messaging me?
Yep.
He just told me, and I have a feeling, yeah. He said Mikey and them have at least one more pit stop. So, the real question is when do they take it? Do they take it now? I'm going to get yelled at if I say it, but do they hope for a caution?
Shall I bring Jason back?
I'm gonna I'm gonna get a message because I'm gonna get a message now that I said that. I have a feeling he's still watching, and I'm gonna get a message now that I said that. But honestly, as someone who has driven before, I would hope for a caution. I'm waiting. I see him typing. I'm waiting for the comment that I'm gonna get. He goes, "Oh, I'm always listening." Yeah.
I have no comment on anything about the Banana Republics and all them, but
here's the real thing. Where's Alex Huffman? I want to hear I want to hear what he's thinking. If he was driving, because Alex Huffman has not joined us in the booth, even though I want him to hear his driver analysis. I guess I'll wait for a message here in the chat. Alex, I know you're watching still, or I hope you still are. Driver analysis, what would you hope for? A caution, a green flag, pit stop? What would your plan be in car?
And while we wait for that response, Mike and Neil Jr. continues to lead. Brandon Holder found his way into second. Jonathan Schwartz, both those drivers found their way around Mike Peters. Peters is now a little off pace. I'd say burn his tires up once again, running his way to the front. But he rides right now in that 4th position and not in a bad spot. Meanwhile, Keith Hackney, 20 spots to the good, finds himself inside the top 5. Still looking throughout the field. Everybody's really spread out. Right here's probably the 2 of the closest cars on the track. Matt Grenier and John Kinder. They head on into turn number 1. They got right about a 2-3. There was about a 2 to 3 car length lead or gap between those 2 drivers, and that gap is just continuing to grow. So everybody throughout the field just continuing to spread out.
There's Alex Huffman. Green flag stop, strategy over abusing tires. I'm sorry, I abused my tires. So you know what?
Hey, wait a second, Alex. Aren't you one of the drivers that I usually call on tires? On abusing tires, aren't you one of the drivers I'd usually call for that? Or is that just last season? Might have just been last season.
I'm half awake and not booting up my PC. I'm way too tired. I you know what I hear, BJ? You know what I hear, BJ?
I don't know. Excuses?
I hear excuses.
Yeah, well, would have been nice to have seen Alex Huffman out here on track. Usually he's out here in the number 2 machine. Not with us tonight, but he is in the chat booth, and Alex still trying to get him in to the announcer's booth with us, but meanwhile looking at the task on hand. Little never mind, time of scoring's lining me, jumping around on me again, but Frankie Barroso in the top 10 right there. You see him. James Silvers in 9th. John Kinder in that 8th spot. Matt Grenier in 7th. Brandon Holder in 6th. Mike Peters 5th. Keith Hackney in 4th. And not a big gap between Hackney and Peters. Hackney did make his way around. Ooh, Hackney off track. Picking up a little air down there. Say he got a little bit loose there, but a good recovery. It's going to bring Mike Peters back around to the outside. I'm glad we got to see that one on camera. Mike Peters nearly gets on the wall there in turns 1 and 2, but can I please tell me timing and scoring? Pick that up. I want to see if I can get that again. Where we at here? 67. Let's go for let's go right here, and let's go right here. Let's watch this. Nope, I don't think that was the one. Let's see if we can get back just a little bit further here. Go right here, maybe a little bit further back. Let's watch Keith Hackney. He's just gonna come off of turn number 4. I think I might have went too far back. Find out here off of turn number 4. Hackney down on the low side, comes off of turn 4. Ooh, gets into the wall. That's what stirred that whole thing there to send Hackney down to the infield. But he did a good job recovering and had all 4 tires off the track off the ground at one point in time.
Well, he just wanted to give me my wish and go through the dog leg. It's fine.
Oh, okay.
Remember, I wanted someone to go through the dog leg. Finally did it.
Well, that
also apparently Alex wants to. He goes, I'll do announcer booth when Alex does a plate race. BJ, you want to break the bad news to him about me trying to do a plate race at this point?
Alex doesn't have a steering wheel.
Yeah, we've been out of action for about 3 months now, and I don't think we'll be in action for a while because
probably about that.
Race season's coming around, and me have no money for anything but gas. So. Race season over steering wheel, always fun. Race season is happening now. Mikey Neal Jr., well, BJ Duvall, he wants a green flag pit stop. He's out almost 4 seconds in front of Brandon Holder, who is now your second place car. So Mikey Neal Jr.'s pit stop might be coming soon. Or, at least if he can gain a 4-second advantage to a 4.5 second advantage over Brandon Holder.
When did he last pit? He last pitted on lap 147. He's going to pit within the next 3 laps. I'd say, and I started to say pit stops are going to start within the next 3 laps, but pit stops are going on now. James Silvers, Mike Peters, Jonathan Atkins, Nick Mills, Dustin Reinstedt, all down pit road. So I expect to see Mike and Neal Jr. come down within the next 3 laps as well. Ooh, Nick Mills is down.
You in that pink car.
It is a beautiful car, man. I'm telling you. I actually recognize the paint. Believe it or not, I'm not gonna say on air where I recognize the paint from, but I recognize the paint, and I do want to know who painted it. Hey, save the tatas on the back of that car. I'm just calling it as I see it. Don't hate me, YouTube. Twitch, Facebook, don't hate me, and I'm just saying.
They can't hate you, or they hate breast cancer awareness. That's all I'm going to say on that.
I know, but you could say breast cancer awareness, but I don't think you're supposed to say save the tatas. So I know I can get away with it with Brett.
Oh, trust me. Yeah, I think you can get it this time. But now 2 lap down cars as cars are going in. Kinder in the pits, Robertson in the pits. Pierce, Kostritza on pit road. Wentz, Mikey Neal Jr., Holder, Schwartz, Grenier, Barroso, Hackney. Those 6 cars still yet to hit pit road. And now we're going to have fun, as I think Mikey Neal Jr. has that 4-second lead. That's what he wanted. Remember, I said if he has a 4 to 4.5 second lead, he will pit. And right now, he's at a 4-second gap between him and second place of Jonathan Schwartz. Matt Grenier, who is in third, is 12 seconds behind Mikey Neal Jr. Keith Hackney, 13, make it 14 seconds behind Brandon Holder in the pits. Everyone else is a lap down. Mikey Neal Jr.'s pit strategy might come into very good playing field here. It's going to get fun, is all I'm going to say.
I think all I'm going to say is look at the gear that Mikey Neal Jr. is running, and he is absolutely flying right now. Let's figure something out running that 4th gear over 5th gear right now, as he looks very, very comfortable out there on track at the moment, just cruising around here. And like you said, over 4-second lead. Now that Jonathan Schwartz is headed down pit road, make that a 12-second lead from Mikey Neal Jr. And he's made it a little further than that, right around 3-lap marker that I said. But if Mikey Neal Jr. is not careful, when he tries to push too much too far with only 24 laps to go, he could end up coming down pit road a little too late to make his time back up. But Grenier, Barroso, Hackney, looks like 4 drivers that still have yet to come down pit road for this cycle. Everybody else has made it down pit road. Looks like, oh no, Jason Bridges has not come down, and David Farmer's not come down yet. But here comes Mikey Neal Jr. down pit road for his pit stop. We'll watch him on board here for his pit stop. See just what it looks like from inside the car, from the gyro cam at least.
And now everyone else.
Oh no, he missed his pit stop. That's going to be a huge break in time for Mikey Neal Jr. Had to back up back into his pit stop. That's going to hurt him on pit road.
But the biggest thing is, everyone else behind him pits. You see them coming through. Grenier, Neal, Neal, we're watching Neal, Hackney, Hawkins. All those guys have hit pit road now. So Barroso, Frankie Barroso, and Jason Bridges not on pit road. Barroso pitted on 149. Bridges on lap 151. So now you see Mikey Neal Jr. comes back out on the raceway. Jonathan Schwartz behind him. And there you see Jonathan Schwartz. That's not Jonathan Schwartz. Sorry, that's Frankie Barroso. He hits pit road. So now it's going to be fun to watch timing and scoring here and see where Mikey Neal Jr. lands on this one here. And with 22 laps to go, ladies and gentlemen, strap in. Make sure you have a beverage. Do not drink it in the next 22 laps, though, because you might spit it out by the finish of this one.
Not only that, but you might want to also make sure you got enough fuel in that tank for a green white checker, because we all know Alex is on call. Meanwhile, Jason Bridges, Alex just loves it when I say that. Meanwhile, Jason Bridges still up front in that number 34 machine from this pit cycle. He has not pitted since lap 151. He's got to be looking to come down here soon. Jonathan Schwartz has already completed his pit cycle, and I believe just ran, yes he did, his personal best lap of the race with a 30.41. The overall best lap of the race, if I'm not mistaken, is still held by Mike Peters. Let me see if I can't find Mike Peters on the speed charts here. Yes,
Here's the big issue, BJ Duvall, as Bridges is in. Here's the big issue. Mikey Neal Jr. has closed in very quickly on Schwartz and Holder. He is a 1.5 seconds behind them.
Yeah, you can see them right there.
Those two.
Yeah, you can see those 2 drivers right there heading through turns 1 and 2. And Mikey Neal Jr. just behind them, coming off the corner. There goes Mikey Neal Jr. off the corner as well. So, yeah, not a whole lot of gap between these drivers. Mikey Neal Jr., we know he took 4 tires. And now it's just time to charge. What about Brandon Holder and Jonathan Schwartz? Both of those drivers, yes, all 4 drivers are on 4 tires. So it's an even playing field. So I think at this point, it's going to be about which one of these 3 push at this point in time to have it on, say the last 5 laps of the race. If you save just a little bit now and don't push until anywhere from 5 to 10 laps to go, you wait till then to actually push. I I'm going to have to say, I think you're going to have a better shot at it at that point in time if you wait till then to push for the race lead, for the race win.
18 laps to go here. Schwartz, Holder, Neal, and BJ. Another thing to talk about. We didn't talk about when Mikey came in. Mikey almost lost it on pit road, on the entrance of pit road. There, I swear, he came very close to hitting that wall on pit road. So Mikey Neal Jr. had some major problems hitting pit road, and like Alex Huffman said, that 4-second lead might have saved him there. And it really is coming close as he is, it looks like he's going to save a little bit now. He's within a second and a half of your race leaders. Those race leaders hitting lap traffic right now.
I'll take a look at, you were talking about someone take a look at Mikey Neal Jr. Well, and it was supposed to be him going down pit road, but STK was lying to me, I believe.
Let's see.
Okay, so I do not have Mikey Neal Jr. going down pit road then. Oh, I tried.
See, Jason even said it.
What? Said
He
what?
commented that he was so close. Actually, he thinks he grazed it. So, Alex Huffman also said that Mikey Neal Jr. is going to eat Holder and Schwartz alive because they burnt their tires. And it's really funny hearing Huffman talk about burning tires and eating people alive, because Huffman even admitted that he burned tires before. So, again, I think Huffman's talking from prior experience, but there you see Mikey Neal Jr. gets by Brandon Holder. Apparently I got a message. I did see that message. BJ, apparently he messaged you too, but BJ never looks at his messages.
He did. I'm replying to him right now. Hey, I don't get pings or anything like that when I'm broadcasting because Discord goes into what's it called? Studio mode, streamer mode, whatever it is. So I don't get to hear anything from Discord. So I never know if I got them. I don't have enough screens to keep pulled up like I used to. I only have 2
But
now.
Here we go. Mikey Neal Jr. closing very quickly on Jonathan Schwartz, and Mikey Neal Jr. might actually, like Huffman said, might actually eat him alive here, because Mikey Neal Jr. is right there on the back bumper. He's going to go to the inside. Schwartz going to shut the door, though. So here we go. 14 laps. Let's make it 13 laps as they exit turn number 4 through the tri-oval here. So 13 laps to go here. Quad oval, as BG Duval refers to it. I don't know. I hope somebody can tell me what the heck that is called there. If it's a tri-oval, quad over, or
it's a quad oval.
Like whatever you want to call it. I don't really know. I want a NASCAR term here from
It's a quad oval.
Huffman or Jason or someone.
It's a quad oval. That is the NASCAR term.
I'll believe it from a NASCAR guy. Sorry, BG.
I got it from Mikey Neal Jr. It's a quad oval.
But Mikey Neal Jr. is your new race leader as here we go. Let's have some fun. Neal now going to pull a little bit away from Jonathan Schwartz here. And if Neal can get over a half second away from your race leader here, this day's clean and green. Mikey Neal Jr., he called his shot on Monday night. He is 12 laps, just about 11. 2 kinks, not like one. Oh, there's Huffman. Thank you, Huffman. But 11 laps away from calling his shot, and Mikey Neal Jr. is going to feel like Babe Ruth calling his shot and putting it to work and making it happen. And he's getting to that half-second mark here as he's just about a half-second in front of Jonathan Schwartz. He's 2 seconds in front of Brandon Holder here, so keep this clean and green. Mikey Neal Jr. might have sealed the deal.
Yeah, I definitely think at this point in time, Mikey Neal Jr. is very good on the long runs, always has been. I definitely think at this point in time, it is Mikey Neal Jr.'s race to lose. I don't think anybody's going to have anything for him. Brandon Holder has dropped all the way back to, looks like about 2.5, almost 3 seconds behind Mikey Neal Jr. He's not, I wouldn't say he's out of the question. You know, there's always the possibility of Alex cursing us with the green-white checkered again and bringing him back to the front, but you know that you never know.
Alex Huffman said he called it too. So, Gonna be fun to watch, but you see almost a second out in front as that gap is continuing to widen here over Jonathan Schwartz. 3 seconds in front of Brandon Holder, 10 seconds in front of Robertson and Kinder. That is your top 5. And then, well, let's put it this way. From 12th on back, apparently, I think they are all actually a lap down still because they didn't get their lap back during pit cycles. And Mikey Neal Jr. is about to be a second in front of that 95 of Jonathan Schwartz.
Look at there. Actually got something to work there. But again, that's all we see. But Brandon Holder, you'll watch here. If I switch back to Jonathan Schwartz, we don't even get Brandon Holder on the charts. Brandon Holder is way back. You see him just now coming out of turn 4. Meanwhile, Mikey Neal Jr., Jonathan Schwartz coming across the stripe. Mikey Neal Jr. just continues to grow that lead as it is up to about a second now over Jonathan Schwartz. He's just absolutely dominant at this point in time. We'll take a look a little further back throughout your field here now. Yep, Brandon Robertson riding in that 4th position right now on that number 3 machine. He's got John Kinder right behind him. I suspect to see a battle for a top 3 here in just a moment between these two drivers. Matt Grenier lined up back here in that 6th position. So quite a gap between 5th and 6th back there as well. Frankie Barroso yet even further back. Keith Hackney on back there. There is Jonathan Atkins in 9th. And Mike Peters running at your current top 10. But let's come back up here to this potential battle for that 4th position. These two drivers, Brandon Robertson and John Kinder, are closing the gap up to 3rd place of Brandon Holder. And you know that John Kinder, as quick as he was that last time across the stripe, he wants to go after it. He wants to get that 4th position and have a shot at going for a top 3 with just 5 laps remaining. Still quite a bit of ground to make up to catch up to Brandon Holder, though. Some of these guys have got to be hoping for a possibility of a green-white checker. If we have a caution anywhere from now to the end of the race, that would be a green-white checker.
You shush.
Alex curse. Hashtag blame Alex.
You shush. We didn't have one the past 2 nights. I don't want to hear it. Mikey Neal Jr., Schwartz, Holder, and actually, there you see that 3 machine there of Brandon Robertson, Kinder right there as well. I'm sorry, BJ. The YouTube comments between Huffman and them, it's getting funny right now. But Huffman Designs 1 and 2 right now. Apparently, Alex Huffman paints winners, but Mikey Neal Jr. plus 19. He is out in front. 3 laps to go. Knock on wood. No caution. No caution. Lord help me. No caution.
No. All you can do, Alex, is hope. But 3 laps to go right now for Mikey Neal Jr. He's going to roll off of turn number 4, make it 2 laps to go. Roger Pierce, you see the lap car, Roger Pierce behind him, separating Mikey Neal Jr. and Jonathan Schwartz, the 1st and 2nd drivers.
So where is Mr. Neal? Because Neal becoming turn very soon. Before anything can happen, because I am not doing this. So Mikey Neal Jr., he is in turn 3 and 4. There's the 95 machine. That's Jonathan Schwartz. He's about 2 seconds behind. There is your race leader. White flag is out for Mikey Neal Jr. He's going to head into turn 1 and 2. Mikey Neal Jr., he called it Monday night on the podcast. Can he make it come true? He's down the backstretch. He's going to head into turn 3 and 4. Lap car turned the way. It's not going to matter, though, because Schwartz is 2 seconds behind, so he's going to go through 3 and 4. He exits turn number 4. He's going to go past into the tri-oval. And Mikey Neal Jr. wins here at Charlotte. 200 laps in the book, and it's Mikey Neal Jr. taking home the win. Jonathan Schwartz passes in the second spot. Brandon Holder comes home in third. John Kinder, Brandon Robertson, that's 4 and 5. Frankie Barroso is going to come home sixth. Grenier seventh. Jonathan Atkins, Keith Hackney, Mike Peters, those two yet to 4 yet to cross the finish line, as Atkins will come home eighth, Hackney ninth, Peters, Iverson, that's 11th. So that's unofficial. We'll wait for the official results. We will hammer down the official results. Then it will be podium finishers, and we will wrap things up here for tonight. So, wait. Official results. Waiting for it. Mikey Neal Jr. doing burnouts. And there we are. Mikey Neal Jr. taking home the race win. Schwartz in second. Holder, Kinder, Robertson, Barroso. That's your top six there. Matt Grenier, 7th. Jonathan Atkins, 8th. Keith Hackney in 9th. Mike Peters, 10th. Tony Iverson, 11th. Roger Pierce, 12th. Jason Bridges, Nick Mills, and David Farmer. That's your top 15. Dustin Ryan settled in 16th. GT Hawkins, 17th. Sean Kostritza in 18th. James Silvers, Mike Howerton, your top 20. Coming home in 21st is Bobby Hall Jr., Alex Healy, 22nd, Drew Prowl in 23rd, Chuck Blake, Brian Terry, your top 25, Travis Twitty in 26th, Josh Lockwood in 27th, Rocky Boyd in the 3rd and 28th, Michael Robinson, 29th, Barrett Orton in the 30th spot. And then your final few cars.
RS Setter, the only other driver, but he
As
did
RS
not
Setters,
take the grid.
So, Mikey Neal Jr. is having too much fun right now. So, BJ Duval, what is the call here? Are we going to go right down to it and let's wrap this thing up?
Well, they're all here, so might as well. Let's go with. You can go with the. Doesn't matter. You take your pick, Alex. Who you want? You want third? Or you want first?
I want the winner right now.
The winner first. All right, there you go.
The gang's all back together, but this time somebody is a winner, and that's Mikey Neal Jr. Mikey, you called it. We talked about it up there. You called it Monday night during the podcast, and it comes to a whole thing here. Green flag pit stops playing in your favor, and you're a winner at Charlotte.
Yeah, man, it was an awesome race. We had to start in the back tonight, so I think I started around 28th, somewhere around there. So I had my work cut out for me, and the way that we only had 5 sets of total tires tonight really played a big factor. So I decided to stay out all 80 laps there without taking any tires. Just took fuel, and that strategy allowed me to pit every 30 laps with having a set of tires. And I think everyone else really had to wait and take tire, or they had to wait an extra stint to take tires. So that advantage allowed me to really get out front, and then I felt like I saved tires really well tonight. It was really easy on the throttle all night, so it felt very comfortable on the bottom of the track, and that's really where I ran all night. And by the first time we had a pit, I think I went from about 28th to 12th. So after that, I was able to slowly make my way back up the grid. And once we had the stage break, I was the first car on fresh tires, and I think I was the only one out of the 4 cars or 3 cars to stay out on lap 80 and stay on the lead lap. So that really helped me. And coming from the back, it just didn't make it any easier. But at the end of the day, we were able to make our way all the way back up front. Got to lead a lot of laps there at the end, and then made a mistake on the last pit stop. I had a little bit of an internet issue, and I kept freezing, and I got into the inside wall in the pits, but luckily it actually slowed me down because I couldn't see anything. I missed my box because it kept blinking. I think it was just with the lights or something. So kind of gave myself a scare there, but was able to make my way back up with a little bit fresher tires and was able to pull off the victory. And, podcast, I felt very confident at this track one year last year. And, I think I just needed to believe in myself a little bit more. I almost had it at Gateway, but I didn't give it enough fight. Lost that race, but this one I made sure to give way more fight than I needed, and it ended up working out the best way it could.
And especially with the regular season coming to a wraps in just a matter of weeks. Watkins, Glen, Nashville Superspeedway, and Daytona coming up. Locking up a win here is so pivotal, carrying some momentum into the playoffs, don't you think?
Absolutely, and I've not got a win all year, and I've just been on like a top 5 streak. I think the last 4 races I finished top 5, including a pretty good race at Gateway, to the point where I just messed up on the last restart. So I really have been wanting one really bad, and I knew that Charlotte was definitely going to be indicative of how the rest of my season goes. I need to put a lot of throttle into it tonight, but keep the tires on the car, and that's exactly what I was able to do. And really quickly, while I'm out here, I got to give the Cup Series drivers all tonight a big round of applause. I cannot thank any one of them enough, because we had such a good race tonight. We had maybe 6 cautions at most with the stage. So, these guys absolutely stepped it up tonight. We were able to have a really, really fun race. So, other than that, it feels awesome to get a win. I really needed one here sooner or later. I've been on the edge. I just could never get the win, but I finally got it. So I'm absolutely ecstatic now. This gives me so much momentum, and I think I use that word so much every single week I broadcast for the Truck Series, because it's a thing and people don't realize it. So I'm just really happy I was able to pull off the win tonight. And other than that, just excited.
And now we know you got a lot of great sponsors and a lot of great people backing you up there. That number 8 machine. Take some time and thank them here for helping you get to victory lane.
Yeah, first of all, on the car every single week, every single year I've been in Bluegrass, we've had Alex Huffman Designs. Alex Huffman makes me these sweet cars every single year. And, he is like a big brother to me, and he, keeps me fighting every single week. Every single week that I don't think I'm going to do good, he always comes in and, keeps my spirits up, and I can't really thank him enough. I also got to thank John Kinder Performance, big sponsor. John Kinder is such an awesome guy, has done a lot for me this year. So I really can't thank John Kinder enough, and John Kinder Performance. All the other league sponsors, same every single week in the podcast. Thanks to you to all the league sponsors. Couldn't be here without y'all. They do a great job for the Truck, Xfinity, and Cup Series. Thank y'all so much. Team Syndicate 1, 2, 3 tonight. That's so awesome. Me and the guys, we just really had a great race tonight, and just being up front there, Brandon and I were on the same strategy. John was on a little bit different strategy, but we all ended up in the front nevertheless. And same thing there with John Kinder finishing 4th. So I got to thank Team Syndicate, Brian Terry, Jason Collins does race control every single week for us. Can't thank him enough. So thank you, Jason, for allowing us to do this. And he's, coming back here and doing good for us. And again, thanks to the field, man. Only 4 cautions tonight at stage. Can never complain about that. Great race. And thank you all for broadcasting UDTV, my boys on Monday night. So, Alex, can't thank you enough. And again, this win goes out to Steve, man. I know he's still dealing with a lot of stuff recently. So, Steve, this one's for you, buddy. Hope everything gets better. Love y'all. Good night.
So that is your winner tonight, the number 8 machine of Mikey Neal Jr.
And coming home in second tonight, it's going to be the 95 of Jonathan Swartz. Jonathan, what a night you had. At one point in time, find yourself a lap down. Tell us a little bit about it, getting back to the lead lap and getting back up there inside the top 3 here at the finish of the race.
Yeah, I don't know how exciting of a race that was for you guys. I know it was a lot of green flag runs, people spread out, but man, that was so fun in the car. I knew early on I was racing Mikey, even like lap 60, and I knew we had the same strategy. And it was like, if we could both manage to stay on the lead lap before lap 80, we were just going to pit for tires at lap 80. But those leaders, I was looking at my relative, it was 24 seconds back, and then they were 27 seconds back, and I was like 3 seconds away from getting lapped, and I was like, I couldn't risk it. So I pitted lap 65 to take tires. And the reason I was about to get lapped there was because I was just trying to manage my tires the last 15 laps of those stage. That way, once I pitted at lap 80 just for fuel, I'd be able to continue back on track. But the fact that Mikey managed to my understanding, make it all 80 laps without taking tires and then took it at lap 80, that just put him in such a good position for the rest of the race strategy-wise. So I felt like I was always playing a bit of catch-up. And then once I finally pitted at the same lap around that caution, around like lap 115 or so, I was able to match him just strategy-wise, but he did have that track position, I think, 4 spots ahead. So, man, that was in order to beat the best, you have to race the best, and I'm just proud to be able to even race alongside Mikey and Brandon. I didn't think I'd even be able to get second there. I mean, Brandon pitted a lap earlier, and I was like, okay, I got to give it everything on my pit-in lap, and I gave it everything and somehow came out ahead of him. So I was proud of that, and then I knew with 10 laps to go, I was like in the lead, and the problem is I was at a lose-lose at that point because Mikey had fresher tires, so I wouldn't have been able to hold him off on green flag racing, and if we had a caution, he would have had better pace there. So I knew it was a lost cause. But overall, I mean, this was a race that was circled on my calendar along with Coda. I knew I had so much pace here, and I mean, the strategy wise, I felt like you'd really such a long race. You have to save those tires for the end, and I felt like I did everything I could, and Mikey just did things a bit better. But yeah, overall, I can't be more proud of getting a podium here. So yeah, just give a shout out to my sponsors, iRacing, SimRace City, and Bluegrass for putting on such great broadcasts. So thanks, guys.
Man, I like interviewing you. That was easy. Only had to ask one question. You covered everything.
Yeah, well, hopefully I can get some more podiums, and yeah.
So just make sure we covered all of them. There's nobody else you gotta thank. Nothing. Anything? Anybody?
I'll thank everyone, not just the podium, but the whole field for being able to keep all that green flag racing. Since I mean, I know all those tires, once they get worn out, you can really start to slide, get up into the wall, especially turn 4. You can get the rears loose. So yeah, just everyone being able to keep it clean, being able to get around those slow drivers when you're on fresh tires, and being able to get out of the way when you need to, since this track does get narrow at many points. So yeah, just really proud for putting out a great show.
All right. Well, possibly one of the easiest interviews I've ever done. Thank you very much, Jonathan. Congratulations on your second place finish.
Thanks very much.
All right. And I believe Alex is caught up with our third place finisher.
Brandon Holder coming home in the third spot tonight. 200 laps said and done. Getting a podium finish here, especially this close to playoffs, like we talk about all the time, generating some positive momentum, and that's what you did here tonight.
Yeah, for sure. I got the points lead last week, so we're just trying to be consistent, not take any risk, and try to get the extra playoff points.
So next week, Watkins Glen. The following week, you have now off the regular season here. When you think those 3 tracks, which one are you most excited about, and which one are you dreading the most out of those 3?
Watkins Glen, I look forward to. Probably, I would say Nashville Superspeedway, just simply because I haven't ran there much. But I'll get practice in and get up to speed pretty quick, hopefully.
Well, they got a lot of great sponsors, great supporters, and great teammates on that number 9. So take some time to thank them here for a good podium run.
Yeah, I got to thank BK Paints for the car. He does an awesome job on the paints. You can check him out on Facebook. I really got to thank John Kinder and Mikey Neal for the pit strategy tonight. It got the win and got me a third. I don't know if I had been on my own, if I'd have come up with that strategy. So I sure appreciate that. And I want to thank Brian Terry for the team, the syndicate. We all got top 3 tonight, so really proud of that. And thank y'all for the broadcast.
That is your third place finisher here tonight of Brandon Holder. BJ Duvall, that will wrap things up here for another week of Bluegrass Racing Truck Series. Said and done. They were at IRP. They're going to go to Watkins Glen as well as the Xfinity Series and Cup Series. So next week, we head to the state of New York for Watkins Glen for all 3 nights of racing. I might be here. BJ Duvall, I know we'll be back. Steve McMillan might be back as well. So, for BJ Duvall, Steve McMillan, everyone else behind the scenes at World of Thunder, yes, at Ultimate Dirt TV. For everyone here at Bluegrass iRacing Series, BJ Duvall, Alex Robinson, God bless, good night. Friday night, it's Daytona for the World of Thunder Esports League. Sunday night, we're back on dirt. And then Monday night, back here for Bluegrass Racing at Watkins Glen. God bless. Good night. See you all Friday night.